You can help too by calling our donation line.
They've got a poor record here. You'd know that as much as anyone. As we see the Crows coming out, Cats have only won the one game against the Crows here. There's been some remarkable matches between the two teams, haven't there?
Yeah, well, it's amazing. It seemed that the Cats would come to Footy Park and get thumped. The Crows would go to Cardinia Park and the Cats would thump them. There's been some moments. We saw Blighty line the team up a couple of years ago as an honour guard for the Crows to come out. Lee Colbert taking that mark that was not paid in that final. But Geelong won last year, so they come with a bit of confidence today.
So 1 win and 7 losses against Adelaide at Footy Park. But you're right. I mean, if you look at it at Shell Stadium, it'd be the opposite. Gary Ayres, the coach, is with Neil Curley right now.
Yeah. Well, Gary, how many of these boys from the Geelong side haven't you coached?
I think it's 7, Neil, actually. So basically a third of the team's changed in the last probably 18 months. So that's new personnel for them. Probably there's a bit of enthusiasm, but we know we've got our work cut out for us today, and we've got to be very professional about how we go, about trying to get over the top of Geelong.
Stephen King's been a great player from so far this year. Where do you see his biggest danger?
Oh, his mobility and obviously the centre square work because of his size. He takes the ball out of the centre square, and he also is a follower in relation to getting possessions around the ground. So Benny Marsh and Matty Clark got their work cut out for him today.
Crows coach, where would you like to see Graham play, forward or back?
Oh, it might suit us perhaps if he was in defence.
All the best, Gary. Back to you, boys.
Yeah, it's interesting stuff. Thanks for that, Neil Curley, with Gary Ayres preferring Ben Graham maybe to go back. There's a late change. Wojcinski's in for Hocking. White Burns into the team Thursday night.
And some interesting players in that Geelong line. Justin Murphy, after an up-and-down career, plays his 100th game today. That's pretty significant for the prodigiously talented young fella. David Spriggs, youngster, can run all day, got pace, endurance. I suspect he'll pick up Andrew McLeod. And David Mensch named on the bench there, but he's got the ability to get under opposition's guards.
King will be so important.
He's such a fantastic young man, Bruce. He was in Ireland with the All-Australian team last year. You got a chance to assess him. An outstanding cat. Ronnie Burns, so dangerous, and we suspect Tyson Stengwine might get the job, and he must keep himself between Burns and the goals at all stages.
There's Burton, the Birdman. We've seen the King. Gerard Healy will join us back with the opening bounce after this.
Aye, we were off for a wee break with the wains, and the collar was like a cow. And would you know about Kennett? Clunk, clunk, clunk. I'm stood there right glaikit with the wains shouting, "Oh, Farah, you ken you're nothing but a big dunderhead." So I skedaddled right into Ultratune and told the laddie about the clunk, clunk, clunk. He says, "Oh, your shock absorbers are out the windy, man," and made a rare job of them. Understood me perfectly, he did.
The Blue Lake's what we ordered, wasn't it?
If you've ever taken on a big job around the house,
Well done. It's on plaster and there are holes.
you'll know that getting the right advice
Got to start with that.
is what really saves you money.
It's good value and there's a great range of colours.
And a whole lot
They're
more.
washable. They come in a whole range of colours also.
Because the only thing better than knowing you did it yourself
That's what I knew you could.
is knowing how much you saved. Good eye, buddy. Getting better, George.
Thanks for fixing my chair, George.
Oh, now that's taste. How can one man have so much talent?
Saturday tonight, the Neighbours versus the Adelaide pub.
Their lifestyles have been adversely affected.
The publican says it's a beat-up, while the Neighbours catch the Hoons on video.
Horrifying.
Noise, fighting, vandalism, claiming their lives are hell.
We can't sleep.
Plus the fuel saver that actually works.
The results have been proven.
Slashing fuel bills and pollution, and Adelaide's meat bargains.
Price doesn't always determine quality.
We survey supermarkets and butchers for the best buys this week.
White. Graham Corns mentioned Justin Murphy playing his 100th game today. It's been a bit of a trip. He started in 1994 at the Tigers, played 12 games there in 2 seasons, had 5 seasons at Carlton where he really reached his high. Remember that prelim final when he threw the ball in the air when they defeated the Bombers? Now at his first season at Geelong. A big talent, 100th match, well done. He tossed the coin today and the Cats will kick to the right. Welcome to Gerard Healy. Hocking's out and Wojcinski's in.
Yes, Bruce, thanks for that. And should be a pretty good game. I'm looking forward to the Cats continuing their competitive spirit because they are going to have to be. This Adelaide side have re-emerged from that momentous win at Optus Oval some 5 or 6 weeks ago. They're a new side. Matthew Clark is playing terrific football. They've really come of age, this particular group of players, and being led by an old bloke in Darren Jarman and a youngish bloke in the dual Norm Smith medal winner and Andrew McLeod. They've got the talent to burn, and they're going to be difficult to stop here.
Ben Graham's going forward.
Yes, it's going to be interesting. He's such a penetrating kick, but I would have thought with Adelaide's structure on Geelong's kickoffs, he might have done a fair bit of damage with his penetration.
Nearly forgot your curls down there. It should be a great match. You see Burns, King and Mench as important for the Cats, don't you?
Yeah, it was hard to hear through the siren, Bruce, but just talking to the viewers, magnificent conditions for winter. If the players can't play good football today, then they've got a huge problem because they are not going to get a better type of day to display their magic than today.
Good on you, Neil. It is a fantastic day, isn't it?
Awesome day.
I feel like it's spring here in Adelaide and so much at stake. King versus Clark. It will be a huge duel. King along with Primus and Porter, the 3 informed big men in the competition. King goes early, Clark waits, takes it out of the air, then tries to toe poke forward. Murphy would love a big game. Burns starting up in the centre square early. Goodwin ripped it off him and Stenglein to go with Burns. As we expected, kicks to half forward. Edwards versus Scholl. Welsh, he needs some early touches, kicks to the forward pocket. Good to see Welsh starting for the Crows. Vardy runs it over, boundary throw in.
And it's Adam Houlihan that is on Darren Jarman. And I suspect that whilst he'll be given a negative role, they'll also be trying to isolate him to kick some early goals on him. Leon Cameron got some goals last week against the Crows on Darren Jarman. And that's the best way to upset a halfback. Get some early big 6-pointers on him.
King's handball, and there's a free kick here. Is it going to, must be going to Adelaide.
Geelong, I think.
No?
He pointed the other way, Bruce.
It's a good one. So
point the other way.
Yeah.
Just thought the roar of the crowd suggested the Crows. They're all excited, and I didn't think there were that many Geelong fans here. It's a good crowd here. Must be around about 38,000.
This is not the start Geelong wants. You don't want to come away and and concede a soft first goal in the first minute of play.
Goodwin's kicked 2 goals a couple of times this year. He's been a goal kicker, been in wonderful form, and he kicks the first.
He has been a wonderful player. Simon Goodwin, trotting back to the centre, has been playing tremendous football and out of the midfield. His poise and his balance and his penetration with that left foot kick has given him given Adelaide some great drive. Probably a bit fortunate there, found himself on the right end of a free kick, and Geelong would not be happy conceding the first goal. They need to start quickly and silence the crowd. They haven't done that.
Well, he's the best in Ferris last year. He made the All-Australian team. And probably surprised a few people, but he's probably been even better this year than he was last year, I think.
Ronnie Burns in the middle.
Yeah, Tyson Stenglein is running with him.
Clark running with Smart at the moment. So some of the matchups. Burns out of the centre, takes them on, and kicks out very wide. Mench going to ground Robin. So Mench has got some space here. He's at about 50, hooks it back in. Well, he's run out. Gee, they've been a bit stiff, the Cats. Soft free kick for Goodwin at one end, and Mench centering ball deemed to have run out.
Boy, I don't know if we've got the interchange for the Crows yet. Crowell, Johnson, Marsh and Lappins.
That was interesting in replay. I mean, he didn't complain much, David Mensch, but did not appear to be out at all.
The King winning it, so Curls has given us the interchange. Stevens gets it from Jarman, can't get it away very far. Just eluded Murphy. Rashudo, good handball inside to Goodwin. Lovely change of direction and a good handball to Smart to Jarman. Always takes 2 strides and bounces to balance. A second bounce, he's a chance. We're getting excited. No, well, as good as he is, he got cramped up at the end.
In the back.
He's got a free kick.
Oh, you're kidding.
Well.
Well, it was a bit premature, but we may get a second crack at it.
You could just feel the adrenaline in the box rising, couldn't you, as he was strolling down the wing.
It was a magnificent chain of handball, and on display the last 20 seconds was what has made the Crows so good recently.
Crows with an early goal to Goodwin, and now Jarman after a free kick. He made a big run down the ground, a set shot, not an easy kick. I think he's missed it. He's made a miss of it, to be truthful. Not unlike what Wayne Carey did when he had his one shot for goal on Friday night.
It's unusual for Darren Jarman. The first the kick at goal, he probably should have gone with his left foot. He would have made the distance easily. Botched the first kick and did the same with the second chance he had.
Sanderson has been fantastic in the last couple of weeks. Played a bit of footy here in the old days. You must have coached him, Cornsey, did you?
Wonderful young fella. Actually went to Collingwood in a swap for Brett Chalmers when Brett Chalmers came back from Collingwood to Adelaide.
Hurlahan, who, as Gerard told us, running with Jarman. Well, that looked out, but they deserve one, I reckon, the Cats early. Kingsley at half-back, kicks to centre wing. Good strength, Chapman there.
Interesting battle in defence with Ben Hart up against Ben Graham.
That seems a bit of a mismatch, doesn't it? Ben Graham is so much bigger.
But he doesn't take a lot of pack marks. It's really, he relies on his pace. So I think Michael Wilson and Mark Williams have shown with Port Adelaide that height is often an overrated facet of the game. Unless you can take big pack marks, and there aren't too many packs these days, you might as well tag somebody with and match the pace.
Milburn gets it after Bassett sort of hacked it out there. High tackle on Chapman, free kick. We saw Kane Johnson on the interchange. He no doubt will come on at some stage, usually for Mark Bickley.
Yep, they're running both of those players into Kane Johnson with his suspect soft tissues and Mark Bickley in the senior stages of a footy career. They're trying to lessen the load a little bit for both of them.
Hurlahan, Graham, the big fly, caught between a couple. Bizzle tries to get it to Spriggs, can't quite. McLeod, first time we've already seen him. Graham puts a good tackle on him, Goodwin. And then a little kick going for by Raleigh. Back to Bassett. He'll be pleased to be back into this team. It's a hard team to get into at the moment. Well done, Milburn against Rashudo, boundary throw in.
Boys interchange for Geelong. Corey, White, Wojcinski and Ling.
So Mitchell White starts interchange here. Hasn't played for 4 weeks. And Bassett's only game this year for the Crows was in the showdown against Port Adelaide when Adelaide got hammered. Probably at their lowest point this season, I would think. They've really turned the corner since then.
Did go to Brisbane last week with them as an emergency. Bruce, but didn't play, but they lose nothing with Nathan Bassett. He's a really dour, tight, tough defender who can actually go forward, take a mark and kick a goal.
So Cats in attack, half forward left. Only goal to Goodwin in the first minute of the game. Clark just lays it down. Little toe poke by Burton. Spriggs around the corner looking for Murphy at about 50. Minch gets rid of Robert. Murphy in his 100th game. Close. He likes it. No, he's just missed. He can't believe it.
He's complaining. Well, Justin Murphy is such a beautiful kick with the drop punt. Why he would try and bend that ball is beyond running straight at the goal. Drop punt at the right-hand post, and he's elected to bend it, and it's gone astray.
Hart goes long, right down the centre, and a good shield there by Rodman, I reckon.
Worked well together, both those boys.
Stevens has got it. Stevens, he has Clark wide, but there's some danger in that, I think, with King lurking. So he goes the percentage way, or big fly coming from Burton early. Murphy getting his hands on it a fair bit early. Back to Raleigh in the centre. Little one to Spriggs. Such an impressive player, as Graham said prior to the match. He gets it away to Kingsley. Goes down the line. Ordinary looking kick off the boot. Graham half a chance here. Bassett runs across in front. Graham's handball. Can it find a target? Hart and Hurlahan. Hurlahan can be dangerous. Hart did well. Didn't go to ground. Then provides a very good shepherd for Jarman, who strolls away and then handballs to his brother-in-law in Tyson Edwards at half-back. Edwards with a couple of bounces. and then goes along the wing. It's Rashudo versus Milburn. Milburn probably should have taken the mark in the end. He worked Rashudo cleverly, and then the big Roo gets into a bit of strife, but clever kick to Smart, who wanted to go on, but he pulled himself up in a hurry.
Yeah, just a bit of indecision there.
How good was Smart last week when the pressure was on against Brisbane? He was outstanding, and finds Brian Binky out wide. He's just starting to find his feet in this team, isn't he?
I think go on, sorry, Curls.
I think you'll find, boys, that Mensch will do more running today than ever picking up Robin.
Brian Binky, as you say, Bruce, is becoming a very important part of Adelaide's lineup. He takes a very good mark. Matthew Scarlett was playing in front of him then as the ball came in, and Binky, smart enough to lead him forward, duck back and out to his left-hand side, and the kick found him beautifully. Still a tough shot for goal.
Kicked 3 goals on a couple of occasions this year. He's normally a good kick for goal. That was a tough one, marked by World at the back.
He did it well, Bruce. He pushed out or held his ground as interpreted by the umpire, and pushed him underneath.
And a misses. In fact, he just gets in for a point. Good thing for Welsh though, Gerard. He's been struggling. He's been off interchange. He was dropped 1 week. He started the day and has had 2 early touches.
Yes, unfortunately, neither of which have gone through the goals, but you've got to get your hands on the ball.
And here we see Adelaide setting a zone on the kickoffs. Well, nothing is consistent in football. They've gone with the man-on-man the last couple of weeks with some criticism. Here they've gone on the zone.
First time I've seen them do the zone this year. Chapman, Smart, ball up.
Well, I think they've looked at it and they've seen how easily the ball's come away. Not to say they won't go man-on-man at some stage during the game, but they haven't allowed Geelong to dictate on the kickoff. Geelong would have prepared for a huddle and a kick-off strategy, so Adelaide have tried to counter that by going into the zone.
King just winning the rucks, lays it down. Stenglein comes across. He's a courageous player. Back to Burton. Bickley, good tackle. He's in trouble, I think. Spriggs over the top. And ball up.
Well, he had prior opportunity, but it's sensible umpiring. It wasn't actually retarded. And a player with the ball should be given some opportunity to get rid of it, as long as now the umpires are consistent throughout the day.
So Clark will have a backup in Marsh. King will do just about all of it for the catch, you'd reckon. Spriggs, well done to Burns. So Burns showing some early touch. Kick out very wide, was a good one. And finds Kingsley. So centering ball, good kick. Graham the target in front. She had a bit of it off the ground. Chapman can't quite get through. Jarman held up, ball up.
Bruce, I think what we're going to see today from the Geelong players is a lot of physical pressure being applied to the Crows to stop that run.
We'll look for that, Curls. Kingsley getting a couple of early touches on Stevens.
Look, it's intriguing to watch this young fella. He came from Woodville West Torrens, spent some time at the North Kangaroos.
Kicked 6 in his first game, Graham.
And has got some ability. His brother was there too also, I seem to think.
Houlihan's kick to the goal square. Graham and Hart. Graham, that height advantage. And Hart getting a free kick. Just got over the shoulder a bit. Hart holding his ground well there.
So Geelong are having a crack. They've been inside their 55 times compared to Adelaide's 3.
Edwards has kicked. Burton, that's a good mark because Murphy manhandled him a bit early. Edwards' kick was okay. It wasn't quite perfect. Probably needed to be a bit further out in front. Oh, gee, Robin's hurt himself, I reckon. Back in board. Clark to Raleigh. Robin does pick himself up. He's running all right. Just a bit of a wild old kick there coming forward. The Hart's been good early, hasn't he?
And that's the plus. He has run off Graham a couple of times already.
Stenglein to Robin. A good quick give to Clark. Slows it up, Clark. And he had a man wide in Stevens and didn't go to him. He goes to centre half forward. A pack develops. McLeod lurking. Important ball. Harley over the top. McLeod claims him. Ball comes out. Rishudo sweeping to Smart. Will he take this man on? He's in trouble. He just got half a handball away. That's right.
Oh, that is a shocking decision.
He's called it a throw. He handballed it for mine.
You had one umpire who was facing the play not make a decision, and the bloke behind the play who couldn't actually see the connection played the throw.
Curl said Mensch should do a lot of running. He was down back. Houlihan's kicking board. Now Graham's within range, you'd think.
Oh, I bet go for a shot.
Well, he's going to kick it to Clark. It's a good one. And Clark runs on and kicks the goal.
Tonight, beware of the wheelie bin.
Jess, come.
It's a poor little pooch with a perplexing problem.
She's afraid of wheelie bins.
Can Dr. Harry sort out this problem pet? Find out tonight, 6:30. Then...
I didn't realise I had so much.
I think we might head off now and leave you with it.
Transforming a suburban mess into the ultimate kids' playland.
They look great. What's it up?
All for pocket money.
You think you'll be finished?
Yeah, no worries.
A real kid surprise on Room for Improvement.
Scores level here.
Yeah, Geelong giving themselves a chance too. They've attacked well. They haven't converted accurately, but they've levelled the scores. They appear to be going into whatever breeze there is, if there is one. The cloud coming off.
Blood rule, I think.
Okay.
Isn't it testament to the strength of the Crows at the moment when Kane Johnson starts on the bench?
He's just had such a shocking run with thigh injuries. His training has been modified. I just don't think they want to expose him to the total stress of 120 minutes of football.
I reckon Ken Judge would be having him in a starting lineup just at the moment. Caursey, if you've got all your list playing, it's obviously one of the great requirements of competitive footy.
Prosciutto cut off by Burns and then Spriggs. Cat's going all right here. Back to Murphy. They've made a promising start. They've had more of it. Houlihan getting away from Jarman. You know that Jarman's going to get a lot of kicks off halfback. Graham posing a threat.
Yeah, they're going to have to look at that matchup, Hart and Graham. Come on, Ben, launch one now.
It's not,
give the crowd a thrill.
It's not Graham's height so much so far. It's been his pace and his leading.
Stuart Jewett have a shot from here, wouldn't he?
So it's not a really difficult shot.
He's committed now. He'll get the distance, you would think. He's going to kick from about 55. She's a big kick, but he's missed it. Missed the lot.
Landed in the crowd, though.
Yeah, you're already considering Ben Hart to shift off Ben Graham.
Well,
Graham's taken one mark.
Yeah, but I think the better matchup is Stevens and Hart over onto Kingsley. That seems to be the obvious matchup.
Prosciutto, there's some danger here. He's going to have to go here, Hart. It's good play by Burns. It was a long kick by Prosciutto that was always going to take a while to get there.
I'll have to watch Burns though if he's going to play midfield because he won't have the stamina to go all day.
Yeah, Stenglein has. He's done tremendous jobs in the previous week.
Mark Thompson made a comment earlier in the year. He said Ronnie Burns has to kick 2 or 3 goals every week for us to be a top 4 team. He does rely on his goal-kicking abilities. Rodram back to Bickley. They work that well to Edwards. Good use of the footy. Through the centre to Hart. They build here. Hart can run a bit. Goes low and goes beautifully to Binky.
It is great overlapping running football. It's the old-fashioned style where flooding was introduced to try and compensate it, but if you move the ball quickly and you run strongly, nobody can flood back. Geelong's trying to do it now, but the running overlap, the lateral handball, that incisive attacking handball as well, and the lead from full forward. He's led from full forward, taken the mark at 45 and has a shot on goal.
Johnson off of McLeod, so McLeod stitched up Binky. Good kick off the boot, but a hook there, and he's had a couple of shots for goal now.
Interesting that Mark Thompson has identified Tyson Edwards as one of the chief playmakers. I think many times Cornsey gets under the guard of opposition players because of the likes of Jarman or McLeod or whoever in the midfield. He's being tagged for maybe one of the first times in his career by Paul Chapman.
So Scarlett wide, Minch is off the ground and White's come on, and at Jarman, that's a poor kick by Scarlett. He's under a bit of pressure, admittedly.
May have a problem with his ankle, Minch, so he's taking the boot off. Have a look at that.
Kicking forward to Clark. Keep an eye on it, Curls. That would be a really important one for the Cats. He's so vital forward. He's the matchup with Robran. Binky again, so 3 grabs Binky today.
Ooh, steady.
Hart has pushed well forward. Graham's going with him, but I think Robran actually ducked back to cover him on Ben Graham. They seem to be working it pretty well together.
We say it every time Brian Binky plays. He's got fantastic hands. If you can give him a look at the ball in front of his eyes, he won't often let you down with the grab.
Unfortunately for him, Cornsey, the 3 kicks have been pretty tough ones. They've all been on the 50. Gee, that's a good attempt. It's close. He's just missed. So he's had 3 shots.
Crowd rose.
Pretty tough to condemn him, really, because they're pretty good kicks. Here's Sanderson.
And Adelaide, what are they doing now? I don't know. 1-on-1 again.
Jim Clark's got a search. That's a terrific mark. He's off. Edwards is not an easy man to get around, but he does. And have a look at this. Straight down the centre. Houlihan away from Jarman. Plays on. 45 metres out. And kicks a goal.
Every cigarette is doing you damage. Every time you inhale, tobacco smoke condenses in your lungs to form tar. This is a healthy lung. And this is the amount of tar a pack-a-day smoker breathes in every year. Every cigarette is doing you damage.
It is interesting, Cornsey, you speak to players on trips to Ireland or when the Irish team comes out, and they all, as a man, suggest that a combination of zone plus one or two players identified as the way to go from kickouts. But Adelaide have persisted with the zone, with the man-on-man to their detriment, certainly that time.
Burton just shaken off it. Stenglein gave it to Bickley. Good handball to Rashuto, to McLeod. First time he's really been involved. Straightens up. 60 metres out, not a good kick, wobbly, floating. Some untidy footy there. Both Jarman and McLeod, their two best finishers, you'd reckon, though McLeod's kicking for goal this year's been ordinary, have been a bit untidy early in this quarter. Raleigh. You do get feelings early in games, don't you? You just feel like
they're around the mark.
Yeah, no doubt. Hurley, big fly. Good effort by Stevens. And then Clark to Burton. Burton inboard to Binky, to Stevens. We'll need a quick handball. McLeod away, almost run down, kicks to the goal square, and again Scarlett front spot. Vardy can't get an early touch. Been a problem for a while. He couldn't get a touch against Richmond early days. Touch was important there, very important. Robran almost, McGregor. They're battling it forward, and a boundary throw.
Something wrong with that ball, Bruce. I think it's got a bad panel.
Could be the stitching curls. We're going to have to look at that. But Peter Vardy, I think, has got a lead, Bruce. They're dropping in a couple of extra players back there. But if you lead forward, there is a fair bit of space.
Clark, free kick to the Cats.
That's stupid to talk about the ball. Kevin Sheedy made some comments a couple of weeks ago saying that he was convinced the Sherrin ball was different. And that was the reason so many kicks were going astray.
Houlihan's taken Jarman well down into the square, and he's one out almost in the 50.
Burton just got rid of White, and after White have got the better of Robin.
So Adelaide can't allow that to happen. They can't allow Darren Jarman to be taken back to the goal. So they've got to have an understanding that whoever's at half-back or on the full-back line, that if Darren Jarman's opponent goes back, someone else has to pick him up so he can come forward and play across half-forward.
So Clark at the back, Rashuto getting his hands on a few. He's had 3 or 4 handballs early. Smart's handball just intercepted. The Cats are quick to tackle here, aren't they? They're matching the Crows, who've been very good. Stenglein a high one against Briggs.
Maybe Crowd could just keep interchanging with Jarman. He's been pushed up under the half-back line.
There they are down the back.
I think opposition coaches have worked Darren's game out of it from half-back.
But he's just got to stay at half-back, Curls, regardless of what his opponent does.
Well, if you're going to have a rotation system by the opposition coach, it's difficult to do that.
Stenglein, McGrath at the back. Scholl there, and McLeod hip and shoulder was very good, and then Burns and McLeod for boundary throwing.
Indication in that little play there with that bumper of McLeod, just how strong he is. He rarely loses his feet. He's got great strength in his hind quarters.
Up there, do you think?
His knee's always a chronic problem for him.
Still having trouble with Mench's ankle down here. It's not that good. They're strapping up now.
Terrific handball from Harley to Murphy. No one's come to him. Just gets his kick away. There's a hard chase coming from Vardy. And a bit of a waste in the end from Murphy.
Well, Murphy's actually manning up when Brett Burton, who started on the wing. And here we see David Mench. They're taping the ankle. I don't know what they can do. Jared, you're the physio.
Tape it up.
But if there's pain there and the trainer jumping in the way of the camera.
He's got a different look on his face than Wayne Carey had Friday night, so that's one positive, isn't it, with the ankle. A kick by Robran, Milburn, and again a boundary throw-in.
It'll be interesting to see how long Gary Ayres now perseveres with Brett Burton on the wing. He's getting the ball forward, but no one's really hurting the Geelong defence. In fact, the Geelong defence in Scarlett, particularly in the last couple of moves, has been on top.
King takes it out of the air, and then Clark puts a pretty strong tackle on him. Spriggs gets over the top of Vardy, ball up. Crows in the last 3 weeks have kicked 14, 17 and 19 goals respectively. That was their big problem. They just couldn't find the goals early in the season. They have been able to mix it up. Their leading goal kicker is only on 10 after 9 rounds. They haven't had a go-to player up forward all year.
He's playing in the half-back line.
D. Jarman.
Yep.
They've been winning.
Here's McLeod away. Now he's going to get within range here. He's kicked 10 goals, 16 this year. I hate to put the mozzie on him. He's in the pocket. Centering kick was untidy again. Vardy, pretty good at these, Vardy. Measures it and misses it. They are being very wasteful early here, Adelaide.
I think Curls is right in one thing. I mean, the disposal by Adelaide in the forward 50 has been deplorable. I'm not saying it is a crook footy, but Andrew McLeod's had 3 kicks and kicked 3 mongrels. That doesn't happen.
No, well, he did kick 6 goals, 6 behinds a couple of weeks ago.
They were beautiful looking behinds, though.
So again, Geelong clearing from the kick-off.
And McGrath to Clark, who kicked their first goal. The Cats look very dangerous. The kick to Graham, Hart caught out, goes back, free kick to Graham. Against Ben Hart. Surely not advantage. No, he's called time on the umpire.
Worth a try, though.
So this will be the second time, if Graham kicks truly, that the Cats would have got a goal directly from the kick-ins.
And you see there Ben Hart, I think he's just got to take the back position. He's got the pace to to get in front of Ben Graham if in fact the ball's coming in low, but that's when he's going to get caught out.
A lot of spark in the Crows players today. They're just moving around as if they're a little lethargic.
Graham from the pocket. Gee, I don't know, he might have missed. So that's a disappointing result. Well, I guess in the end, Curls, without being too critical, if Andrew McLeod keeps streaming into goal from 50 metres and wastes it, it's pretty hard to win. I mean, he's playing brilliant footy, but it's been untidy early. They've had a lot of chances.
They certainly have.
1-4 to 2-2. Hart spot up down the centre to Robran. Didn't make it. Smart there. Edwards did very well. It was a terrific handball to Stevens. Back to Robran, and he's gone. Made him stop. He had to turn around Robran, but he didn't have much orientation about him. And Murphy gets it from White and kicks wide to the pocket. And Burns, it was too wide boundary throwing.
Well, Burton continues to run forward, and Murphy is just a far better reader of the footy through the middle of the ground. I reckon if they put Simon Goodwin onto Murphy, he'd pretty much turn that one round pretty quickly. Someone who can stop him and also win the footy, and that's Simon Goodwin to a 2.
Yeah, well, James Rowley's running quite effectively with Simon Goodwin at the moment.
Well, break that one and put the pressure back on Geelong.
Jarman picking up the spoils from the boundary throw-in. It was a good kick to Clark. He had nowhere to go, Jarman.
And at the moment, it would appear that Mark Thompson is dominating the structure of this game. He's got all his matchups the way he would like them. So I think Gary Eaves has got to turn it around and start trying to get a 2-on-1 situation and break a few of those matchups.
Half forward for the Cats. King out of the air. He's done that a few times, and Clark content, I think, to let him take the first up from those boundary throw-ins when he positions himself and then put a tackle on him.
Clark can't play body and body on King. He's too strong.
There's Minch Curls. He's not far from you. He's warming up if you look left, so we'll see if he can come back.
He's lucky he's not a horse.
A horse that you own.
So
some drama here. The umpire having a chat to Ronnie Burns. Smart thing would be to bounce the ball.
You see Goodwin there. No, it's Burton just pushing in on Murphy.
Well, they're trying to break the tag with that stink line Burns tag, and you've got Rowley and Goodwin, and the players running everywhere, and that's what the umpire was concerned about.
It was interesting though, watching closely. He got in close to Murphy, but as soon as the ball went up in the air, he was watching the football and not watching his man. You're either playing the man or you're playing the ball, and Murphy's going to read it far better than him each time.
Clark did win that tap, but the Crows unable to take it away.
Plus, I think, Jared, what we're seeing is, well, it's Thompson. He's got more players on the ball. He's crowding the situation.
Yes, and their aggression, I've seen Geelong this year when their aggression has been undisciplined, but their aggression is contained today. They're just aggravating the Crows, playing close, frustrating them, and not allowing them to break free.
See a throw against Goodwin. The umpire was in the right position. Houlihan damaging early. Probing kick the forward line, and nearly the mark to Hart. He's against the tide now. He's pretty good in these situations. That was brilliantly played to Stevens, to Jarman, and then Jarman short to Edwards. May have been for Robran, doesn't matter. Edwards was able to cut it off. Gee, Ben Hart was good under the pump there.
This is where you don't want a player to stop and go back and have his kick on the half-back line. He needs to play on at all costs, because now there are no options.
So he has to kick to the pack, doesn't he? And he does that at centre wing. The ball's been out here for a fair while. Welsh just didn't take it strongly, and McGrath got in the road. Little toe poke from McGregor didn't go anywhere. And then he gets it out to to Welsh, and Welsh, well done, back to Robin. Normally a great kick. That was beautifully done to Burton. Now Burton with a bounce. The Birdman with a second. He can keep going at 3. Now McLeod, steady from 40. From 40. He's kicked it.
Shop with a mechanic shop and be a part of the action at Repco.
Metrich. Fits metric and inch, 14-piece spanner set plus bonus socket set, $99.95. Projector, portable jump starter and power pack, $139. Loctite, sealers, silicons, adhesives, like 50mm former gasket, $3.95. Motor Guard wheel covers, Challenger set of 4, $27.95. Extreme Sport set, $49.95.
At Repco, we know what it is, we know where it goes.
Well, it was a great goal set up by Burton, and I'm sure McLeod, who actually looked as if he lacked a bit of confidence there, would be relieved that one went through, but the Burton-Murphy duel at the moment is very much Russian roulette, and I'm not sure either coach is going to be happy to play that way.
Goodwin, Harley just missed it, McLeod, Sanderson, well played Sanderson, and then Harley able to get it onto the boot. Geez, Stenglide showed some old-fashioned guts there, didn't he, against the flow. He's got plenty of it. Rodbran, who with Jarman's the best sort of linker from the back. Jarman, beautiful kick to Burton, took it on his bootstraps, back inside to Jarman, running out of room but not out of ideas, and then goes bang to fall forward. Smart front spot. Good handball actually. He's put his shot under the puck. Vardy's trying to take it off him. Vardy still with Vardy. It's almost as good as a Rodbran kick a moment ago.
And once again, I think the Crows have just got to resist this long kick into the goal square. Geelong are getting numbers back there. They've got a smallish forward in Vardy. They've got to look for and find the leading forward, which has robbed them of a number of shots at easy goals early in this match.
They've had their opportunities, but Geelong will be pretty happy with that. They came to be competitive in the first part of the game, in the first quarter. They trailed by just 2 points. They've silenced the crowd. They put the Crows under pressure, and they've made mistakes under pressure, so they've at least put themselves in the game.
No doubt about that. Set up for a good one, I think. So at quarter time, it's the Crows 16 to the Cats 14.
Sevens Football Telecast. Proudly brought to you by West End Draft. West End, your thirst. McDonald's, Mac your day. And Mitsubishi Motors, driving your world.
G'day, Larry.
Hey, morning, Larry.
G'day, Larry.
Look at McClay's rug prices at 8x5 for only $99. Jeffrey, you've given up your exercise.
Yes, Bobby. My body is a temple. This beats running around. What have they got down there, Bob?
Jeffrey, Twisted Plush, 1/3 off. Remnants and part rolls of quality carpets up to 75% off.
Stock vinyl up to 50% off. Prices are coming down and down.
Price crash. McClay's open 7 days.
Your body is a temple?
To survive in the wide open spaces, you need a real four-wheel drive. A new Kia Sportage. Look at the clearance. It's got a real tough chassis and a dual-range gearbox. It'll take you anywhere. Inside it's got everything. Out back, there's even more. It carries all I need to survive.
The Kia Sportage. Pay half now, pay half in a year.
With cars, it's personal.
'Twas after a day in the hot bush sun, a drover pulled up his pew, a hard flat rock near a billabong and the standard issue stew. Come on, missus, the drover cried, there must be something else to eat. I'm off to Australia's Pizza House. And he headed down the street. Let's go, princess, is what he said as he swung around his horse. I can taste the garlic damper now and that real Aussie pizza sauce. It wasn't long and he returned, dust rising from the track. Let's tuck right in, was his call. The great Aussie bite is back. Real pizzas, real prices.
When you need sound financial advice to turn those dreams into reality, where do you go and who can you trust? As your life changes, who will be there with investment advice to help take care of your interests? Talk to the people who know how to build and protect your nest egg. Come to Patrick Whelan Investments. Because at Patrick Whelan, they can tailor an individual plan from a wide range of investment options. So for sound, secure investment advice and holistic financial planning, talk to Patrick Whelan Investments.
Excuse me, do you have any jazz CDs?
This is a pet store.
Rex?
Visa, perfect for those unexpected purchases.
Excuse me, do you have any jazz CDs? Huh?
This is fight night, and I am the king!
14,000 people witnessed a murder. I could be court-martialed for this. That is not going to happen. They all turned a blind eye, except one cop. Every lead is tainted. We need to be very, very careful. Everyone they question disappears.
Tell me where the girl is!
Seeing is deceiving.
He's got her now, somewhere.
Nicolas Cage, Gary Sinise in a network premiere thriller, Snake Eyes, tonight on 7.
The AFL, in association with its premier partner, Carlton and United, proudly presents the 2001 Premiership season.
Quarter time here at Footy Park. Goodwin got the first, and then Clark and Houlihan the next couple, and then McLeod. So quarter time it's 16-14. They are the goal kickers. Just singles and a low-scoring opening term. Another big match being played today. In fact, a couple. One hasn't started in Perth, but the other one has at Colonial between Collingwood and the Swans. The result of that has a big impact on these two teams as well. So if you don't want to know the score, there's a replay later today for some stations. Look away now. So there's Gary Ayres. Let's go down and join Neil Curley. He's got Alan McConnell with him.
Yeah, thanks, Bruce. Well, it was a pretty scrappy first quarter. Anything of any part of your game you're not happy with?
Yeah, look, I felt that we let them take the ball away from packs too easily. You know, you've got a number of players in Adelaide's team who like to leave the pack with carrying the ball, and we just felt we left ourselves a bit open at the back of the pack. We certainly put our back line under a bit too much pressure. I guess we're fortunate they didn't kick as well as they might have in front of Dole.
Darren Ment's a chance coming back on?
Yeah, look, I think so. He just rolled the ankle a little bit. He'll be fine, I'm sure.
Good luck, Darren. Back to you, Bruce.
Thanks, girls. So, what do you reckon, Jared? Do you think Gary Ayres will make any changes?
Oh, I think there's a couple of areas that he'd be concerned with. I think Murphy still is the one that is of greatest concern because he can be so damaging with the ball in his hands. Houlihan would also be concerning him a bit. He's had 8 kicks in the forward 50. He's up against Darren Jarman. He's kicked 1 goal, so that is something he's going to have to take a little bit of notice of. But
Bruce, just carrying on with that, Gary is very, very vocal at quarter time.
It looks as though Riley's going on to Burton, but perhaps just this with the fee. You'll see when the camera pans back for the bounce on the wing here, but Riley's been going and picking Goodwin up, so we'll just have to see what happens when the ball's bounced.
So 16-14 here. Crows with a late-ish goal, putting them in front. Bickley, well done to Smart. Smart out wide to Goodwin. So Goodwin, who got a lot of touches in the first 4 or 5 minutes and then went out of it. Oh, terrific fly and marked by Sanderson.
It was a good mark.
Showing a bit of confidence.
Crowd didn't appreciate it.
Sanderson and Scholl, they've been stalwarts, haven't they, down back for the Cats for a while.
Ew.
Clark runs right into Smart, but he got it to Spriggs all right, and then to Houlihan. Houlihan, he's got 5 Adelaide players around him, so he's been able to bring a few forward, and it's a good kick. And, gee, Smart. I think Corey's got the mark, hasn't he?
He stood tall under it, but the spoil was a fraction late.
I think Joel Corey actually started the quarter on Goodwin.
He's interchanged first quarter, wasn't he? So,
and I think Riley ran straight off the wing and picked Goodwin up, and Murphy came out of the centre and picked Burton up, so that's the swap they make.
Well, 1-on-1 in the goal square, not dropping anyone back.
So Rodman over the back of Graham, and then Jarman kicks it off the ground. Won't get to the line. In fact, King's there, and he's got some time. Mitchell White, very short, uses him. He's in the Brian Binky pocket, isn't he? You had a couple of shots from there in the first quarter. White centering ball. I think he's going to find Corey's made a blue. Bassett's made another one. Chapman hurled up, now wants a free kick for hanging on, didn't get it. McLeod away, but only probably as far as McGrath. McGrath will get it. He's got Milburn inside, he's just taking a while, McGrath. Put himself under pressure. She's going to be embarrassed if he loses this. Edwards, still with Edwards. Ball not coming out yet. It's a battle. Milburn's handball inside. Crows have got the numbers. They've got a chance. Rashudo stood tall to Goodwin from 48. And misses. He had a couple of people running with him. Gee, I reckon Bluey McGrath's happy that it wasn't 6 points.
Yeah, the problem was he hasn't played a lot of AFL footy, or senior footy this year. He's not quite confident with the ball running away from him.
And it didn't bounce up to him, to be fair, either.
It wouldn't come back. It's the hardest ball to take. The one running away from you that won't come up. And Tyson Edwards, with that leg speed, was just able to get to him and tie him up.
Sanderson's kick to Murphy. It's a good kick. And Murphy able to get it almost up to centre wing. Crows by 3 points. Scholl, who loves to run from the back. Centering ball. I think Burton will cut it off. Graham could never really get into the action. Bassett, slow handball to Stenglein. Now to Burton. He's got Hart wide. He'll probably use him. He does. He should go to Rashudo, and Rashudo might go all the way. No, he decides to go short. Good play to Edwards. Edwards was thinking about it, wasn't he? As Smart comes off.
For Johnson. Smart just not quite getting near the footy in this early part of the match. So he'll be sitting on the pine just to re-establish himself.
Good kick, Rashudo.
Well, good play, actually. Good running play from Adelaide's defence, actually. Tremendous mark by Burton, standing tall. Quick hands. The players streamed out of Adelaide's back line, and that gave Mark Rashudo a chance to pinpoint a loose player.
Probably right on Edwards' range here. He's going to kick from 50. He's just hooked it a bit. Didn't miss by a lot. Never really got the turn going. So Adelaide have had a few chances here to get a lead, a good lead.
They just haven't been able to work the ball into that high percentage area, some 25 metres out from goal on a reasonable angle.
Adelaide back in the zone again on the kickoff.
They would have had, what, half a dozen shots already from 50+ metres out.
Short, good mark. Houlihan. Burton obliges by giving back. Running there from Corey. He'll be disappointed he missed that second mark. Bassett was terrific. Now, Burton didn't look. He had Rashudo. They might get out of this. Binky's got options. He goes to Rashudo. Rashudo, well done, Scholl. He was trying to drive it into the pocket to Vardy. Top of the square, Rashudo. Scholl able to get it across.
Wasn't that a great smother?
He was Mark Rashudo playing percentage football. He could have blasted and kicked it higher towards goal, but he saw Peter Vardy with some space, tried to punch it in, and Scholl, with his desperation, threw himself across the ball.
Clark, interesting on that one. Free kick, I think, to Milburn. It's going to come back, I think.
How come the opposition team can kick the ball away and get 50? A player with the ball can do that with impunity. Ponder that, Bruce.
Well, it would be harsh to take it off them, wouldn't it? Because
no, but
I know what you're saying, Prince.
If it was the other, if a Crows player did it thinking he was playing on in good faith, it would be a 50-metre penalty.
Sometimes they use common sense, don't they? Here's the Cats. Scarlett out wide to McGrath.
That's pretty loose checking on the way. It was the only way they could go get the ball out of there, and there was 20 metres for each of two players.
Good pressure, Scott Welsh, though. And Tom Harley just forced the out of bounds on the full.
So Robin able to run away and then go long to the pocket. McGregor, Vardy. Almost a mark. Rashudo looks in good nick today.
Well, you'd think McGregor held the ball as long as Joel Corey did at the other end there. It was a magnificent kick by Matthew Robin. You see it from the moment it left the boot.
So Adelaide doing all the attacking, but not doing much damage on the scoreboard. King building towards the line. Milburn there. Vardy gets it back. McLeod. Handball was clever. Working forward there is Goodwin. Toe poking, and then McGrath. Some good little percentages there by the Crows, able to force forward and almost create an opening.
Simon Goodwin is in great form.
He's a dangerous player when he's running, isn't he? First shot at goal he had, he's just such a free-flowing athlete.
Spriggs, Milburn, now gets it off, but puts his player under pressure. They're able to get it away. They just hack it forward, though, and Robin pushed into it by White, but takes a good mark.
Having a fair game. Mitchell White just struggling to get his hands on the ball at the moment.
Inside 50 this quarter. Adelaide 5, Geelong nothing at this stage, and it'll be 6 for
Burton, huge fly. And without a goal, Cornsey, for all those inside the 50s. And on the counter punch, the Cats could be dangerous here if they can get something going. They can't at the moment. Edwards is good at that. Did very well. Back to McGregor. Back to Bickley. Bickley right to the hot spot. Vardy. Clark. Doesn't get it away very far. Milburn. He stood up well in the tackle. Corey got a little finger on it. Goodwin will go back. He does. It was a good choice. Got it back to Bickley, to Robin. Normally a wonderful kick. Lines it up. Burton got a push in the back. No free kick. Sanderson tries to toe poke it. Crows can't get it out. Jarman lurking. Ball up.
Well, it's going to have to be the Crows now to push it out. They're just bombing it into a brick wall. We said a quarter time, Bruce, that maybe Ben Marsh is somebody who could just change the chemistry down there. He is tall. They're going to have to find a direct opponent for him. And if you're going to bomb the ball into a flooded forward line, you may as well have a bloke that's 6'7" plus down there.
He makes them take notice of him, and they certainly know where the ball is going to fall if he doesn't take the mark.
Clark and King. Clark works well. He's had the better of King in this quarter in those ball ups, and he's gone. It's a free kick to the Crows. Gee, is he all right? The Geelong player. I hope he's okay. He hasn't moved. I'm not sure. Not sure if it's David Clark.
It's a tough decision of the shoulders.
Mitchell White from the ground has struggled.
First game for a month, Jared Mitchell White. No, it's Brad Scholl, I think.
Bruce, while you're away, I think this is one of the problems with modern day football we have with this flooding. Here we are, a quarter of the way through the second quarter on a perfect day, good for scoring, and there's 4 goals been scored.
Yeah, no doubt, cool.
Let's have another look. Let's see how he's hit.
Jeez, he went down, didn't he?
Well, what do you reckon? There's no attempt to get rid of the ball, but he didn't have the ball when he fell.
Got Raleigh coming from the ground also for Wojcinski.
And Ling comes on as well, Jared.
Come on, Jared, give us an uncompromising assessment of that free kick.
I actually didn't see it. I was more interested in the interchange.
Well, he was
he in possession?
Debilitated, was he? He couldn't really get rid of it. He was knocked out.
Yeah.
Same thing happened to Mark Stevens against Hawthorn a few weeks ago at York Park, but yeah, looked pretty tough. Edwards, point blank range. Has he missed it? No, he's got it. It's a goal. Adelaide by 10 points.
You can't legislate, Cornsey.
To make the game attractive. I mean, you're just going to come up with tactics to counter it.
King lays it down, Spriggs in really hard and ripped it away to Clark. A bit too far probably for Burns, actually a poor kick by Clark. Stenglein to Jarman. Little left footer good to Johnson on the ground.
The centre square was brought in to stop flooding around the centre.
Yeah, but the guys get in so quickly these days. What was the point?
Make the square bigger.
Spriggs, good balance Spriggs, and then from centre wing, long ball, Hart leading Graham, Jarman. Gee, he does mop up well, doesn't he? To Hart, good looking kick. Gee, their field kicking today has been pretty impressive.
Just got to hold it here now, Geelong. They've had a good start to the game, but they just haven't been on the attack in any way, shape or form.
Mark Rashudo's been moved into the centre, changed with Andrew McLeod, and he's having an influence now.
That's a better lead. Hart to Binky. Did well to win it back, but Scarlett held him up. Vardy slipped it out the back. Handball on the up. Robin. Centering ball. It's a good kick, actually. He's just set it up, given them a chance. Vardy came off his foot. Binky kicks for goal and puts it through. He's got it.
Plays the same touch, but not that bloke.
I reckon Robin just I know there was a whole heap of players there, but it was a beautiful kick.
Oh, he's a very balanced and talented player. On reflection, Cornsey, I reckon Gary Ayres has won the battle so far, Ben Graham on Ben Hart.
Ben's been overrun off. And you just sense now Geelong's effort and intensity is about to be cracked. Adelaide have had all the attacking moves in this quarter. Geelong, in fact, only been inside there 52 times. And they've held on gamely. If they're going to win this game or have a chance, they have to hang on in these next 10 or 15 minutes.
They've 10 shots to 4 tells a bit of a tale, doesn't it, at the moment? And the big margin of the game so far, like the old days here too, there's hardly a seat vacant. I mean, what a win can do for a club. And with that new stand going to be opened up in a few weeks, it's going to be great to have 50-odd thousand people for the big games in Adelaide.
It takes the capacity of the stadium to 54,000, Bruce. 47 at the moment is the capacity, but it looks like high 30s today, just looking around. But
any extra room for visitors?
There will be some extra day tickets available, but the Crows have accounted for certainly 5,000 of the extra 7,000 seats by pre-selling season tickets. So there'll still only be about 5,000 tickets available for daily sale.
Gee, you reckon Port Adelaide versus Essendon and Port Adelaide versus Carlton in a few weeks' time will get a fair mob too here? Hopefully fill the stands. Both the Adelaide teams having pretty good years. Clark to Rasciuto. Rasciuto banging forward. It's a centre for well-played Scarlett, but he doesn't get away. Binky's been good. Very competitive. He was able to hold him up.
That's been the key, I think, to their success in this quarter. It's been the pressure of the forward line. A, they've won it from the middle and got it in there, but B, they haven't allowed it to get out easily.
It's a scrappy game, but neither coach will mind that. Gary Ayres certainly won't mind it.
Cats need a goal, and they just need to get something going forward. They haven't had a forward for ages. Bickley, Rasciuto hooking, but he just couldn't get the hook on. And that one, he did waste. He's been good, Rasciuto, in the fact that he's been very careful going with his kicks forward today.
It's the most free he's been running, I think, for
Burns
some
off,
time.
boys.
So Burns off for Bizzle. I agree, Jared. I think it's the most promising game he's played since the Carlton one. The Carlton one's his only really big match for the year. So in short Houlihan. So Bizzle on, as Curls told us. Burns off. Ling out wide. Well done, Edwards. Because the Cats were on, weren't they?
Had the overlap there, 2-on-1, and Edwards, who is continuing another fine season, has done the job for them on centre wing.
Teammates telling him, just watch the replay. He got there and he tied him up and carried him out of bounds, and that's the second defensive effort he's done in that regard.
Well, you've got to say that Matthew Clark so far has done well on Stephen King. King hasn't had a real influence.
Is he an underrated player here, Cornsey, particularly in the last 6 to 8 weeks? We know he struggled a bit last week, but...
Perhaps ask Neil Curley, who's been one of Matthew Clark's public vocal critics.
You're doing well today.
That means he's BOG.
King to Spriggs. Spriggs, centering ball, good kick off the boot, men's front spot, Robin and Hart. Gee, Hart and Robin have been very, very good. Now, Goodwin, well placed here, needs the handball. Milburn working him hard. Nearly kept it going, the Goodwin.
I'll tell you what, Darren Milburn did well also. Didn't give away a free kick and achieved the result he was after, and that was to stop the ball dead.
Struggling to find a strong forward, Geelong.
Matthew Clark, 11 hit-outs. King, 5 hit-outs. Make that 12.
Another great hit-out.
McLeod. Yeah, Curls is a good point at the moment. Hart particularly and Jarman, they're able to peel off that forward line of the Cats, aren't they?
And Stevens doing a good job too. They've tightened up back there. Geelong have to find a player who can catch a ball up forward.
Smart still warming up, Curls. Has he got a problem at all?
No, just that he can't find the footy.
Where's Ronnie Burns gone?
He's off the bench. So the Cats desperate here, just to get back into the game. Bickley ridden into the ground. Burton, she can elude players, can't he? And then hooks back. Rasciuto, probably a bit of sun there. Ling, Rasciuto, low McGrath, caught by Vardy, and nowhere to go. Good umpiring, ball up.
From the Crows' point of view, I don't think McGregor or Vardy have a kick yet.
McGregor has not had a kick, and Vardy's had 1-0. He missed a goal, remember?
Correct.
So 50 metres out. King and Clark.
Mitchell White just coming back onto the ground.
Clark again, and now a free kick, I think, to Spriggs against McLeod, just getting into his back. He's a good player, Spriggs.
Kingsley off and White back on.
Mark Thompson just searching for a way here, aren't they? Kick back to Burton, basically. Well done, Graham. And then McGrath back to another Bluey and Ling. Poor handball. Johnson pushing forward. Spriggs, well done. Didn't give the first option. He knew he was in trouble. And they work it to Houlihan. That's out on the full or a Ben Hart mark. Same result, I guess, in the end.
Ben Hart absolutely dominating at the moment.
Inboard to McLeod. Probably won't use Bassett. Robin's the better option, but he now goes to Bassett. Nothing against Bassett, but he's normally not such a great kick. That one, long and hard. Binky versus Scarlett, but Sanderson, who's pretty good overhead, takes another good one.
How would Ben Marsh look down there, Curls?
He looks cold.
How would he look at full forward, Curls?
Well, he's pretty tall.
Thank you, Neil. King at centre wing. Did you get the answer you wanted, Jared?
Well, I was actually concerned if he was a little bit coolish down there.
Second to centre. This is where the Cats have got real problems in this quarter. They can't get it past half forward. McGregor, Neil was talking about him. He gets his first kick, goes to centre half forward. Not a great kick, to be truthful. Gave Edwards little chance. And the Cats can counter punch here. Graham's kick. Good mark, Milburn, over the top. They've got a runner now in Clark, and Clark quickly on. Makes it hard for Minch, and Hart. It's a bad kick by Clark. They had to do better, didn't they?
Well, the kick's got to give your teammate at least a 50-50 chance of marking. That gave Ben Hart about a 70% chance of marking.
The amount of ball that the Crows have had this term, they should be 6 goals in front. They're just wasting too many opportunities like this.
So Rashido to centre half forward. McGrath.
That's kicking to a contest once again, Bruce.
Bizzle to Spriggs. It's only 4 goals to 2. And the Cats on field play should be 6 or 7 behind right now. Harley, Clark, having a good match.
Best on ground.
There you go, Curls. And finds Burton, who can find Welsh here in the pocket. Now, that's a shocking kick because it gave Graham a chance. Free kick, though.
He was lucky because he did drop the mark. Welsh is a natural leader, Cornsey. Maybe he's just getting lost up on that half-forward line. If you stick him in the goal square, he will lead.
Lappin's on for Vardy.
Ladhams. I think
Adams, yeah.
Welsh short to Bassett. So here's where they trying to find a way in over the top of Jarman. It's at 50. Sanderson.
Look, if you're worried about the game as a spectacle, you are going to be concerned about this game. But Geelong at least are giving themselves a chance. They're flooding back, frustrating Adelaide's goal-scoring opportunities, staying in touch, but they have to have a strategy to attack.
14-4 in this quarter, the Crows inside 50.
I think Jared's right, Graham. Get a tall man down and Marsh down there.
Sit him in the goal square, go to him.
Clark winning all the taps to Jarman, to McLeod. 50 metres out. We've said that a lot today. A Crow from 50 metres out. Front spot, almost the mark taken there by Wojcinski. Scarlett, they are working overtime down back. Back to Murphy. He has to go hard. Jarman will lead it up. Sits on it.
Go to goal, Charles.
Goes to the pocket to Edwards. Can he play on? No.
Now, Tyson Edwards has been, in the past, a remarkably good shot for goal. His stats this year aren't so impressive. 6 goals, 10 he's kicked. 6 goals, 10 his previous career accuracy is 64 goals, 35. But for some strange reason, he's having a shocking run this year. Bruce, I got those stats from you. I hope you don't mind.
No, they have to be right if you got them from me. He's kicked 1-1 today, so he's in the pocket. They just keep putting themselves into difficult positions shooting for goal, the Crows. And that one fading away, and it is a behind. So it's a bit of the same. We sound like a broken CD, don't we? But it's a pattern that's continuing here. 4-7 to 2-2.
Ben Hardy had that kick intercepted. Good decision by the Geelong fullback to go back the other side.
So Sanderson goes to Corey, goes to Ling, Jarman to pick it off. He's got McLeod inside.
Chip.
Does chip to Burton.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's what you come to see. That's what you come to see.
Now, Johnson gave him a good lead there, and Burton didn't go.
It's not a difficult angle, but watch the replay on the shoulder, in front of the eyes. Yes.
He's one of the really great modern marks. I know he's only been around for a couple of years, but
look, you've just got to see it and go for it.
Burton from the Tyson Edwards pocket, holding up. It's touched right on the line. It was a good kick. It was straight enough. But going back to the point you made earlier, Jared, just about all the shots have been less than a 50% chance of actually completing it.
Yeah, I think they could have done themselves a lot more favours by holding it up, not trying to force something to happen. You are allowed to hold on to the footy and wait till something presents itself.
Ronnie Burns ready to come back on.
Collingwood did it so well against Essendon on the Anzac Day. They weren't forced into bombing it to extra players.
Stengline, kick forward, Corey and McLeod, and out of play.
I think they need Burns back on to try and get some excitement going.
And another way perhaps to counter is to get all the forwards and put them up the middle of the ground and have an open 50. Hopefully drag a few of the Geelong players out there and run the players into space.
Clark again. Murphy, Burton.
Interesting contest, that one, isn't it? Burton has been very good. There's no doubt about that. He's had 12 kicks taken, 12 possessions, 6 and 6, and 6 marks.
Murphy's had 7 and 4, so not much in the possession. Burton probably on top in the last half hour of the match.
The way the match is being played, you just can't see Geelong breaking a line. It's being played in their defensive 50 for the last 10 minutes. For this to work in their favour, they've got to have somebody get the ball and get it through the defence into some sort of fast break structure.
Here's Goodwin. Goodwin with some strength to Edwards. To about 25 metres. Laddams at the front. Stengline there. Scarlett. It's heavy traffic. Well done, Bizzle. To Ling, to Murphy, to King now. They're going to go about as deep as they've been for a while. Minch is the target versus Hart. Hart leading him. Minch got a hand on it. No free kicks. And the handball was good from Stevens to Jarman. Jarman goes to a one-on-one. Laddams out wide. Wojcinski, ball still in play. Wojcinski and Laddams. Wojcinski and Laddams.
Can't be holding the ball. That's appalling, that decision. And it was a great contest by both young fellas. Wojcinski did well. Laddams did well to time. And watch it here. They're both going for it. Scoops it up. Probably in the back. Both pull it back in, and he gives a free kick against Geelong.
McGregor just slow. That's he doesn't move quickly with the footy, McGregor. Needs a big voice to tell him at times that someone's at him. Jarman, brilliantly done, trapping it. He's having a huge match. McGregor, well done. He keeps his eye on it.
Have a shot, Ken. He has got good hands, Bruce, and quite a sound kick as well.
Big goals for him.
Kicks from about 52. Scarlett back takes them.
Just not working for them. Everyone's saying have a shot, have a shot. We haven't kicked the goal for a while. Got to go back.
They do have to try working the ball back to the centre and using the corridor. They're just coming far too wide. What's he done? It's called play on.
There's a point, is it? Called play on.
What did happen?
He played on behind the line.
Point. But you're allowed to bring it back into play, though, surely.
He went to the wrong side of the post.
Exactly right.
So Sanderson back pocket. This was the Crows' perennial problem early in the season. They just couldn't kick any goals. Now, they're certainly dominating the game, but they've kicked 4 goals in almost an hour of footy here, with total domination in the last half hour of it.
Nothing's changed up forward, Bruce. It's been exactly the same. The midfield's dominating. It's not getting past half forward. At the forward structure, they have now got McLeod down there.
Gee, a late goal to the Cats here would be liven things up, wouldn't it?
Had a quarter been hard.
Stevens from Hart to Edwards. So many high possession getters for the Crows.
Son.
Rashudo making the contest. Spriggs at the fall of it. There's not a whole lot to go in this first half. Kicks into the centre. Free kick to the Cats. Cats haven't scored in this quarter. Have they had a shot for goal in this quarter? Got my doubts. Bizzle to Mensch. And, well, we're probably going to plug name a game later today. I suggest you don't buy the video of that quarter.
I'll just say one thing, Bruce, after having spent 4 quarters at Optus Oval, though, this is decidedly better.
Terrific. The goal umpire just waiting to make sure that nothing's happened there. He can drop the holster, take the gun out of the holster and forget the trigger. Ben Hart should be tired. He's had a lot of the footy. Oh, what can we do to change all of this?
Well, you just need a team one of the teams to break it open.
Well, we'll discuss all of that at half-time and look at the Collingwood-Sydney game as well. It's 33-14 at the long break.
This news update is brought to you by the home loan that helps you make it happen.
Good afternoon, hope you're enjoying the footy. On 7 News at 6, a shocking road smash south of Adelaide. 2 people are believed dead, with 3 others badly injured. The accident happened midway between Victor Harbour and Mount Compass. The rescue helicopter has been dispatched to retrieve the injured. The full story at 6. Also tonight, a cowardly attack on a woman in her 80s during a home invasion. And we'll show you the race where men carry their wives to win beer. These stories and much more at 6.
Every cigarette is doing you damage. Chemicals from tobacco smoke get into your bloodstream and can damage the delicate blood vessels inside your eye. We now know that smoking is a major cause of irreversible blindness. Every cigarette is doing you damage.
Listen, mate, I'm going into a very important business meeting, and I really don't need any interruption. Yeah, okay, fair enough. But look, if you need me, send me an SMS message. Well, how do I do that? Mate, it's easy. You can work it out. I'll call you back later. Yeah, all right.
Send an SMS text message for only 22 cents. Telstra Mobile Net, far and away Australia's best.
Hey, wait.
That message thing work?
Yeah, I got the message, mate.
Need to get a cordless phone with extreme range and clarity? You'll find it at Stratfield. Only 900 megahertz digital cordless phone now with $40 cash back at only $99. It's got up to 1 kilometre range. On the ultra small, ultra clear digital phone, not $200, now $129. Uniden feature pack cordless with digital answering machine, now only $149, save $50. Or this audio line 10 channel cordless phone with digital answer machine, only $199. For the best deals on cordless, see Stratfield. Call 1311 77.
Performance is what it's all about. You must have a machine that's rugged and reliable. That's why Nissan is Australia's #1 gas forklift. It's almost unbreakable. Great design means you can work them all day in comfort. Quality construction, the latest technology, and one of the most powerful engines in its class. The Nissan forklift is a proven performer. A real winner for you and your business. Nissan, built tough to last longer. Call 131 607.
Bird's Eye Golden Crows chips now come in wedges.
The smash hit musical Shout is coming to Adelaide.
Okay, you're going to lead a revolution.
You know you make me want to shout. Based on the life of Australian rock legend Johnny O'Keefe. This new multi-million-dollar show lets you relive the man and the music that rocked a generation.
You gotta sing, 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 sing.
Shout opens June 21, Festival Theatre. Tickets on sale now. Book at Bass.
Half-time at Footy Park, and the Crows kicked 2-5, and the Cats didn't have a shot for goal in that second quarter, and at half-time it's 33-14. Well, I facetiously mentioned name a game before the break, saying that this wasn't one of the memorable ones at this stage, but whichever one you want, 1800 035 665 every game, every team, and every week. Well, Graham, it hasn't been an inspiring first half. One of the talking points has been the kick-ins, the Crows man-on-man or zoning. They went zone, which surprised a lot of us for the first one today.
This is the first kick, and Geelong would have planned for the man-on-man kick, but look, there's a zone that confronts him, and Adelaide don't do the right thing. The punch comes down, they man up around, they get players around and tie the ball up. This is the second one. Adelaide have gone man-on-man, and young Clark breaks. Tyson Edwards is not slow, but he shrugs him off, and the kick goes to Houlihan, finds him at centre-half forward, and 2 kicks to there. A bit of smart work by Houlihan, 3 kicks in the goal. Now that's what Adelaide would fear on the man-on-man. And they've stayed man on man pretty much the rest of that.
They've only kicked 2 behind, so we haven't had another chance to have a look at it, have we?
No,
one more it was. Yeah.
But Adelaide kicked a few more behind.
Yeah, no, but we haven't. The Crows are kicking the ball in as well. Yeah. I've got it completely wrong. You're dead right. We'll go on. Binky. Now, no wonder you looked at me blankly. Binky, he's been the one player that's been able to take a mark, hasn't he?
Well, he's provided a presence. Led's played at full forward, led strong, and his hands are very good. Unfortunately, although he handled this one off, he's been getting his kicks too far out from the set shots. Some smart work at ground level there. Bang, got on the bird quickly. I reckon he's been really important to Adelaide's defence. Hasn't had much opportunity with Geelong's flooding tactics, and Geelong have flooded back, given themselves a chance, but it hasn't added to the spectacle of the game or Adelaide's ability to score goals.
Tyson Edwards kicked a goal from a free kick against Brad Scholl. I mean,
tough this one.
It's a tough decision, isn't it? I mean, Scholl looks as if... does Rashido collect him on the way through? He must collect him on the way through.
Around the head. It doesn't look to be that solid, but he goes down, loses possession of the ball. The pack fell on him, bang, goal. We'll have another look at it and just see. Just have a look. Whack across the nose, I think, more than anything that hurt him. Holds his head, hasn't got the ball there, falls in his womb, I suppose, and bang, pack falls on. Umpire says it's a free kick. Adelaide get a goal. Not much common sense in that decision.
Not many highlights really from that first half, but Burton's mark was exceptional.
Don't we love him? This is what you want, a nice clear day, an opponent in front of you, a teammate who sits the ball up over the opponent's head, as Andy McLeod does, knee on the shoulder. Oh, don't you love that? Brett Burton.
You were saying...
That's the highlight of our game. It's spoiled so much by the modern game where everybody floods, there's no space. And
handballs, 67 to 36. In the inside 50s, the Crows in that quarter were 18-4.
Adelaide had so much of the play. Geelong had a good defensive strategy. They just didn't have a strategy to rebound and attack. They just didn't even look like scoring.
Just finally, does Gary Ayres restructure his forward line, do you think, now?
There's got to be something done because they haven't put this game beyond doubt. They're leading, they're comfortably controlling the game, but maybe Ben Marsh down there, which Jared Healy's been calling for, and perhaps Kells has been calling. Ben Marsh, a big tall fella in the forward line, just go to him and try and work around him.
And quickly, what about Mark Thompson?
Well, he's given himself a chance, but he now has to release his players. I mean, you can't contain the game. Let's try and win it or go down fighting, but at the moment it's too defensive. There's not enough movement, positive movement from the back line. They've got to have run, and they've got to have at least some players in their forward line who can provide a target.
Yeah. Only 4 scoring shots in the first half of the Cats. So that's the situation at half-time, a 19-point margin to the Crows.
G'day, Larry.
Hey, morning, Larry.
The Blue Lake's what we ordered, wasn't it?
If you've ever taken on a big job around the house,
Well done. It's on plaster and there are holes.
you'll know that getting the right advice
Got to start with that.
is what really saves you money.
It's good value and there's a great range of colours.
And a whole lot
They're
more.
washable. They come in a whole range of colours also.
Because the only thing better than knowing you did it yourself
That's what I knew you could.
is knowing how much you saved.
Lenny Kravitz's greatest hits. 15 of Lenny's greatest hits on one CD. Available for the very first time. Lenny Kravitz's greatest hits also includes Lenny's current credit card or by money order. And you'll also receive Lenny Kravitz's greatest hits, the videos. Both the CD and the video together for only $29.95. Order by phoning the number on your screen. Lenny Kravitz's greatest hits, both CD and video together for only $29.95.
One surefire way to bring him back on the double is my family feast with double the chips. That's an extra large chips free.
10 pieces of chicken, large potato and gravy, large coleslaw, a Pepsi and large chips for just $19.95. And an extra large chips free.
Wow, so that's what they call cheapest chips.
Get KFC's Family Feast with an extra serve of large chips free.
Better scoot to KFC.
Joyreen Fashions are having a stock-taking sale, so start the winter off by looking great in an outfit at a bargain price. In sizes 10 to 24, some garments have been drastically reduced to clear. Joyreen's stock-taking sale at Woodville, Cumberland Park and St Peters.
Oh. John? John? Where's our ad in the Yellow Pages directory?
Keep calm. Count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10.
Not happy, Jan!
Bon Jovi, One Wild Night. One Wild Night, 78 minutes of music at a great price. Out now.
Great day in Adelaide weather-wise. A real battling match, though, isn't it? The Crows on top 33-14 at half-time, having 13 scoring shots to 4. Saw Brett Burton. We highlighted one of his great marks in the first half. Couldn't Trevor Barker take a great mark over the years? As we look back at some of his great marks over the 45 years of footy on 7.
45 years of footy on 7. Proudly brought to you by Tooheys New. Trevor Barker, the popular saint, was one of the greatest marks the game has seen. Barker continually thrilled fans with his ability to soar for the spectacular. Sadly, Barker prematurely passed away in 1996, but his memory will forever live on. Tooheys New. Give that man a new.
Two other matches today. The game in Perth hasn't started, but the match at Colonial's at half-time. Let's have a look at the highlights of Collingwood and Sydney.
Low kick. Nix couldn't hang on to it. Prestigiacomo right with him. Well done by Matthew Nix. Maxfield, McPherson. Got a fair bit of it. Good looking kick for Goods. It was a quick kick through the air. Good defensive work by Davis, but Goods casually, coolly, calmly kicks the goal. Wakeland doing the ruck work from behind. Beautifully sharp by Bolton. He swung it back beautifully. What a kick. 3-2-20 to 1-1-7. Davis got through. Lockyer just had to turn round and it just put him slightly off balance, but Tarrant was in good position to take the mark.
This man can read it better than anybody, even on a bad kick.
And he slots it through.
Creswell just needs to win a bit more of the ball for the Swans. Goods, magnificent play, touch of class. Goods wants to set it up. And O'Loughlin kicks it off the ground for a goal. Didn't make contact. Malloy from centre wing. Chance for Tarrant. He's got the set and the grab. Now it opens up to Malloy. And Rocker is by himself inside 50. Maxfield has to go hard. Giving away inches. From 45 metres out. The Roar will tell the story. He's got it.
Looks like they're rocking and rolling the Colonial. Pretty competitive match. Replay for some stations. If you don't want to know the score at half-time, look away now. One bit of news from Colonial. Buckley does have a knee injury. He's been off the ground. We don't know how serious it is, the Collingwood captain. We'll take a break. Back with the second half from Footy Park right after this.
Well, I always thought that you had to take your new car back to the dealer to get it serviced. But this friend of mine said that she gets hers serviced at UltraTune. They use all of the right parts and the price is fixed. Hey, they sound pretty good to me.
Monday, an event not to be missed.
Till we get her admitted she's having a baby. One more push. Are you ready? No! Oh my God!
An all-new practice on Monday.
At Phone Shack, you can forget the frills, forget the hype, and get the one thing everybody's looking for. Quality Telstra coverage at ridiculous prices. Like this tiny Motorola V3688 flip phone with vibrate mode, quick access button and voice activation. Plus we'll connect you free to Telstra MobileNet for just $30 per month. That's right, $30 per month. Now beat that. There's a shack near you. Call this number now and save on a fantastic new mobile phone from Phone Shack.
Looking for a home loan? Then call Great Southern Loan, the oldest securitised home lender in Australia. Does your bank offer you a free redraw facility with a minimum of only $50, free rate fixing, a loan free of all monthly fees, great service, at a rate as good as this? Be converted and call Great Southern Loan to ask about our other free features on 1300 66 5522.
Here's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to retrace the steps of Australia's riverboat pioneers. Cruise aboard Proud Mary from Lake Alexandrina 370 kilometres to Loch 2. Never has a journey this extensive been undertaken. Absolutely everything is included. Daily shore excursions, stateroom accommodation and all meals. But be quick, there are only 2 departures in June. 8 fantastic days for just $1,190. Phone Proud Australia Holidays now on 8231 9472.
Roof Rack City, on top for roof racks and accessories, on top for lockable low-noise luggage boxes and heavy-duty alloy trays for four-wheel drive. Roof Rack City, behind you all the way with the protection of Milford cargo barriers. And tradesmen get the edge with band shelving systems and commercial fit-outs. Roof Rack City, check out our roof racks to suit a huge variety of uses. Enhance the look of your car with sleek roller roof racks, on top for looks. Roof Rack City, on top for value, 37 Gilbert Street, City.
Really tough baked-on food usually requires soaking. Make soaking a thing of the past. Introducing new Finish Powerball tablets with its unique cleaning action. The red Powerball dissolves first, going straight to work to soften even the toughest dried-on foods, so the tablet can clean every wash to a brilliant shine. Try new Finish Powerball tablets with pre-soakers. Unbeatable clean, first time, every time.
Secrets to a successful romantic wedding.
Don't let her choose the gowns.
I look like a toilet dolly. Don't let him pick the ring.
That's a beauty.
Oh my God.
A new Cold Feet, Tuesday on 7.
Welcome back to Footy Park, and showed you some highlights from Colonial. One other incident from there is certain to attract a lot of attention over the next few days. Watch Matthew Nix run into the umpire here. O'Loughlin centering the ball, top of the screen, right hand, bang, and apparently there was a free kick paid against Nix.
Well, Nix is hurt too. Both the umpires collected him and there's a Tarkin Lockyer collected him, but the umpire's in the player's way there. That's amazing. Free kick. Watch it again. Nix going for the ball, eyes on the ball, umpire directly in his path in the corridor. The umpire should be suspended for getting in the player's way.
That was Graham Corns.
But a free kick is given against a player making a genuine contest of the ball. We've been saying it for a few weeks. The AFL and the umpires are defending it, saying it has to happen, but
another strike, George.
It is a ridiculous scenario.
Let's go down to curls. Neil, changing the subject, where do the Cats get a spark from here? Can you hear me, Curls? I can see you.
We can see you, Curls.
Well, Bruce, I don't... Look, it's Geelong that have to do the hard work here and make the hard yards. I think players like King definitely has to try and lift to get some momentum for his runners out of the centre. That's not happening. And like the Crows are sitting pretty safe. So if the Geelong boys want to win this footy match, I think they've got to change their game plan. They're too intent on flooding and sort of making it difficult for the Crows to score. They've done that in the first half. Now it's up to them to show their supporters that they can score. So they have to come up with a more attacking game plan.
Burton has gone to full forward, Curls.
We'll give a bit of a lift. We're still on the bench, though. We've still got Adelaide, Vardy, Marsh, Welsh and Crow.
Burton has kicked 9 goals in the last 2 matches and can take a huge mark. So the Crows playing their wild card at full forward here. Cats to kick to the right of screen. Let's see if they can get that ball into the 50 and be competitive. They had it in there 4 times in the first half. Do you reckon Ben Hart took it out on each and every occasion?
Yeah, he shared it with Darren Jarman on each of those occasions. They've dominated across there. It's interesting we're saying where does Geelong get the spark from, but in the first quarter we all commented that they were here to play, and yet they almost conceded that second quarter, and here they go.
So King to Murphy. It's fair to say that Clark got on top of King too from the tap-outs in the second set. Johnson, well done against the tide. Oh, good spot up too. I mean, he could have gone the handball to Jarman, but he straightened up the body. He does play the corridors well, Johnson. McLeod's handball good. Releases Stevens. Stevens to Burton. This will be interesting. Did he take the first mark? No, Harley was good. Belt to the line.
I'm not sure, Cornsey, about the chemistry of the Crows forward line, but everybody seems to be the same sort of player. They're all sort of 6 foot 2s. They lead for the same ball.
Exactly right.
They think the same way. There's no genuine crummers there because there's no genuine talls there.
You need a blend of tall and short. You need someone who can take the mark or bring the ball to ground, and you need the other players who can mop up.
King to Ling. They're under a bit of pressure here, the Cats. Clark almost threw it away to Spriggs. They have worked it to half-back to Milburn. Well done to Ling. So a bit of run here. Good kick. Here's a chance. Didn't have a shot in the second quarter for goal. Graham, surely the captain can goal from here. 48 metres out. Good-looking kick. He's got it.
How ironic.
These Adelaide school children are doing their bit to keep our state clean and green. They've grown and planted thousands of trees on the banks of the Murray, and it's helping bring our greatest resource back to life. A growing future on 7 News this week.
3 steps to win $100,000.
Walk on, answer correctly, and win.
Can Monday's contestants follow 3 simple instructions?
I doubt whether they've even been listening.
The Weakest Link, Monday 7:30.
Well, suddenly the scoreboard looks close, doesn't it? 4 goals to 3. I know the Crows have had a lot more shots and lead by 13 points.
It's always a danger when you've dominated the game and haven't put the game beyond doubt on the scoreboard. And Ben Graham, incredibly, then, as he ran towards goal, seemed hesitant to kick for goal with that beautiful kick that he has.
Tap.
Clark winning. Got it to Goodwin. Got it to McLeod. Kicks to centre half forward. Handball by Laddams to Edwards. In trouble. Should have stopped the handball with Wojcinski. Laddams and Wojcinski, they had a battle before on the other wing boundary throw-in.
I reckon there's a danger too. You go in at half-time, having dominated, as we see the Crows bench, Crow, Welsh, Vardy and Marsh. Now, Welsh and Vardy, well, they are 2 goal kickers, and maybe they'd get more opportunities if they had a beanpole like Marsh sitting there creating some crumbs.
McLeod cleverly to McGregor. McGregor, terrific smother by the Cats. Wasn't sure exactly who it was at the time. Ling gets Goodwin ball up.
Psychologically, Cornsey, you're going at half-time. If you're the Crows, you'd be saying, well, we can't play much better, we just haven't kicked goals. And there'd be a tendency to relax. The opposition, the Cats, would be going in there saying, well, they've given it their best, they haven't put us away, let's go out and give them a bit of stick.
Yeah, but Adelaide would know they've had a tough, close game, and they had one against Fremantle, where Fremantle took it right up to them, and Adelaide not able to break the shackles until the last 5 or 10 minutes of the game. It might be that sort of game today.
Bickley. McLeod. That was pretty clever, actually. He saw Rashudo there. There was a throw in there. Murphy was very lucky not to be picked for a throw earlier. So Rashudo.
No one in the goal score. Everyone leading.
Oh, he's played on there. He's moved off his mark. Umpire hasn't seen him.
Saw Binky and Scarlett a moment ago.
Give us all the favours. Stick it up to the bird, man.
Put him in the goal score.
Smart's back on the ground for the Crows.
Tom Hartley's not giving him any room, though.
Didn't really get onto it. Burton's a chance. Smart, nearly. Laddams got ripped off it well, and Clark away. This is where the Cats look dangerous, when they can get it out in a hurry. Mensch with space. Comes in board. Probably thought he was going to go to Ling, but he decided to go back to Clark. And then Clark centering ball. Good take there, Bizzle. A terrific tackle from the back. I think Ben Hart. Crows work a Bassett to Johnson. Crunched by Milburn and Bizzle.
They've gone up a notch.
They have.
You can smell it.
Yep.
Still 13 points down, but all of a sudden they're getting the ball out of the defensive area quickly, and the midfield's getting their share of the footy.
They're attacking a bit more too, but by doing that, of course, it could leave some holes for the Crows to work through.
Ling's got away here at half forward. He's on his own. Now he's coming back to the contest, trying to create a loose man here. King Been well held by Clark. Smart to Stevens, to Bassett, under pressure. May find Robrin. Going to bounce away a bit. Robrin to keep it in. He's such a good kick. Something normally happens. Well, there you go. There you go.
Smothered, wasn't it?
Good smother. Good smother. Yeah, they've got, Gerard, you're right. Feel the intensity of the Cats are lifted. They're quicker on the tackles. They've got a bit of spark about them. Smart away. Running hard and then kicking to full forward. Burton leading with Harley. Gee, Harley did it pretty well, didn't he? Just pinged him off to Scarlett.
Space.
Chapman at centre wing.
Well, he's playing wide of Darren Jarman. That's why he had so much space.
Kick in board. Jarman made a contest. Back to Ling. Ling kicks the centre half forward. The hot spot. Robrin at the back. Belts away. Burns to be a handy player forward in this half. Smart. Went back to Robin, who'll go to Hart. Sweeps a good handball. Hart had a wonderful first half, particularly the second quarter. His kick is for Laddams on the lead. Found him. So Laddams at between centre wing and half forward. He's a neat kick, Laddams. He decides to go to the pocket. McGregor provided the lead at centre half forward. Binky gets rid of his opponent. She's a long way from home out there.
And that's where Adelaide have had problems in the games that they struggle with. They've insisted on going wide into their forward lines and trying to get it back into that funnel, or the corridor, whatever you want to call it.
Mensch replaced by White.
Haven't got much out of White, have they? And not too much out of Mensch, I guess, in the end tonight today. They want one of them to lift Milburn to Bizzle. They've had no trouble, the Cats, getting it out of defence, have they? Particularly in this quarter. Bizzle's kick to Graham.
No one inside 50, though.
Got the extra nail down there.
He's not slow, Graham. He's pretty quick.
Oh, it's a shocking kick.
White.
Just put it up too much.
So White at half forward. Called to play on now. Back to Graham. Back to White. White's got himself almost into a scoring area, I should say. Joel and Johnson. Good contest. Johnson did well. Smart to Jarman. To Smart. 11 quite got it away now. They do. Smart able to turn his man. She's run a long way. He's run too far. It's a good call, I reckon.
Geelong just don't appear to have a system for scoring. They don't want to take responsibility for scoring the goals. We saw Ben Graham on a couple of games hesitant. Mitchell White hesitant to have a shot at goal.
It's only the sixth time they've gone in their forward line for 40 minutes, though.
Burns forward. Just, I know nothing happened there, but Burns forward, you reckon, is there one chance here? Don't forget the internet, i7sport.com.au. I know that German Brereton is in the chat room this afternoon, this evening, I think at 7:30.
5 times each into this 50 after 8 minutes. More than Geelong did in the last quarter.
Stevens. Cats just putting the pressure. We saw Smart a moment ago overrunning it. And then Stevens, a throw from Spriggs to White, a goal!
That's a throw, Bruce.
Throw coming back.
Yeah.
They're very lacklustre, the Crows. The Cats boys are taking the going away from at this stage.
I mean, you're in the same boat as us, because you feel like they're there to be taken if the Cats can get a run on here.
That's dead right.
See how it unfolds. Bickley, the kick to Clark, Spriggs front spot. King did well. Well read Rashudo. Rashudo forward. The kick to Binky. McGrath was a hard ball, belted away by Scholl. Okay. The handball by Wojcinski. Finds Sanderson. He's been okay. Taken 2 terrific marks. Louis McGrath. Ordinary old kick to Milburn. To Ling. Ling, little one. Finds Clark. Had a fair bit of a Clark.
Too slow. He had Ben Graham 20 yards in the clear.
Milburn running for him, but Bizzle running. He's not going to go. Now he goes to Bizzle. Almost a Carey-like mark by Bizzle. Hasn't been able to get into the game, Bizzle.
Well, he's had his difficulties this year with form, hasn't he, Clint Bizzle? But just watching him today, you sense that he's really trying to get it. Well, that's an attempt at running back with the fly of the ball, taking the mark, and just trying to do something. It's not quite working for him, but at least if he keeps the effort up, something will turn for him.
He kicked a couple last week against Richmond, which will give him a bit of heart. Dropped 3 or 4 weeks ago. Against Carlton it was, in round 7 he was dropped.
He's a player, his team's struggling, he's in the forward lines, and it doesn't take much of the criticism to restrict you a little bit.
Edwards. We've gone back to the first quarter, haven't we?
Huge stuff.
Burns. Hart having a really exceptional match. Binky caught underneath it though, and McGrath's taking a good mark. 15 minutes of the first quarter was played like this, wasn't it? With the Cats looking more dangerous. The Crows not finding a way.
Geelong's defence really, or both defences really on top actually.
Mitchell White kicked the centre half forward. Milburn.
That was a good contest.
It was a good contest, but it did appear as though Nathan Bassett was interfering with him, Curls, but courageous from both players, I thought.
Good goal here would be handy. Goes to centre half forward. Oh, no one really getting across with much commitment. Spriggs breaks the tackle, hands and knees, back on his knees, gives a good hook to the goals. I think I was going to miss anyway, touched on the way through.
Marsh being ready to come on.
Ooh, Gerard Healy applauding, Curls.
Well, I was just having a look at the stats for Ken McGregor, and he's only had 3 kicks in 1 handball and a half and a bit of footy. You'd reckon with Marsh there, you've just got to give him a try. He could be a superstar of this competition. Hasn't had a lot of football in the last couple of years, but there's such a big talent there trying to get out.
Don't want to play him at centre half forward though. He's trotting off to centre half forward, where McGrath has been dominated.
To the space there, Woods. To Rashudo, has to back turn a bit. Can go forward now. Centering kick, Marsh. Burton, who used Smart, going to use his left foot to advantage. Scarlett will take the mark.
Isn't that the story of the Crows today?
Scarlett careful not to give a point away this time. But you're right, Jared. How many times have they got it to the goal square and only to have a Geelong player mark it or punch it away?
And I think there we just immediately saw the benefit of Marsh. He doesn't have to win the ball to create a crumb.
Burns replaced by Kingsley.
Chapman got it from Houlihan, so Kingsley on. So Burns off as he...
Yes, Burns off again. Not very happy.
Hasn't had any impact to us, has he? So kick to Clark. Cats having a little chance here. The centre half forward. Graham. Bizzle to run hard. Still there. Bizzle. Still with Bizzle. Left foot for goal. Like it off the boot. He's got it.
Yes.
Oh, tôi đến Old Trafford bởi vì tôi phát giác ra một tiếng động rất là kỳ cục ở cái máy xe của tôi. Nó kêu tích, tích, tích. Tôi nói cho họ biết điều đó và họ bảo là cái bộ phận tháp hình đang có một chút trở ngại. Tôi cần cái xe của tôi sửa trong một ngày, nhưng họ chỉ sửa mất có vài tiếng đồng hồ thôi. They are that good. They understand.
You thought Bizzle might play a role, Cornsey. Now Crow's come on to go on to Bizzle. A 1-goal game here. It's the theme we talked about a lot at half-time, the fact that Adelaide had not taken advantage of their chances. Smart ricocheted and the Cats are going well. White gets it from Chapman back to Spriggs. They're getting a lot of the football, Geelong here. The kick the centre half forward. Good one to go. Doesn't well. Just took it maybe.
The sun, that sun's not easy. That stage down there.
No, it was Rashudo and a few other players. No McLeod this half, no Goodwin really much. So the real stars for the Crows shut down a bit. Rashudo's been busy. That kick off, that's a good mark. That is a good mark. That's
50, I think. 50.
Ooh. He's trying to come the other Oh, he's going against him. He's saying he pushed him in the face.
Yeah, the umpire I think was going to pay 50, and then Milburn put on a pretty good act, I thought, and got it reversed. Murphy out wide to Harley.
Gee, moments when a game can change.
Harley short to McGrath. To Murphy. He leans out a bit.
He's on Goodwin at the moment. He appears to be running with him.
Spriggs.
Oh, that's a good mark.
He's lifted 2 in this turn, Bruce.
Inboard to Murphy. Oh, gone. Holding the ball. That might lift the Crows. They need something. McLeod. So McLeod at half-back. Burton on a long lead. He's going to wait for it to bounce. Johnson. Still Johnson. Kick around the corner. And out on the floor.
The Crows are being put into third gear by the Geelong group.
Here's the Rashudo reversal here. He takes a very good mark. And there's just a bit of byplay. Holding. Held up. Just Well, what was that for? What on earth was that for?
That's a pretty weak umpiring decision.
What was that for?
He got from, didn't he?
Well, the umpire signalled that Rashudo pushed him in the face, but there was no evidence of that there.
And Bizzle's kick.
Good hand.
Yep, well played. And then McLeod short to Laddams. It's been a while since the Crows have kicked the goal, hasn't it? $11-minute mark of the second quarter, the last time the Crows kicked the goal. Goodwin. Ling. Well done, Crow with pace. Murphy. Back to Johnson, just starting to get it influential. Johnson, good kick.
Nice
to Jarman.
Okay. Jarman with that beautiful kick of his could just settle the Crows, break the game up.
Well, again, he's probably just on his distance.
He's not confident. He's not going back as though he...
Well, he hasn't been doing well today, man.
Sets it up.
On kicks.
Free kick to Goodwin, just high against Ling.
Yeah, Ling's been disciplined and desperate. He's just playing. The arm has flung back. Just watch it again. The arm comes back. Or actually taken high.
He helped the umpire a bit, though, didn't he?
Was taken high, though.
Well, Goodwin kicked the opening goal of the match. He's a pretty good kick. He's further out on this occasion.
Left foot, breeze over his left shoulder.
Stats are down today, Cornsey. 5 and 8. He's really had a good first 5, 6, 7 minutes, and then no real influence on the match.
Well, we called it early, just looking at the Crows, and we watch them every week. They just look very lethargic today.
Well, they've had a big run. They've won 5 out of 6. Goodwin's kick for goal is very, very good.
Like what we ordered, wasn't it?
If you've ever taken on a big job around the
Well
house,
done.
It's on plaster and there are holes.
you'll know that getting the right advice
Got to start with that.
is what really saves you money.
Good value, and there's a great range of colours.
And a whole lot
They're
more.
washable. They come in a whole range of colours also.
Because the only thing better than knowing you did it yourself
But I knew you.
is knowing how much you saved.
The other factor to Adelaide's lethargy may be the fact they were in Brisbane last week. It was a different environment, a bit warmer. They had a great win. There's a psychological letdown. Geelong has not had great form this year, so unless you're at your very, very best in the AFL competitions, teams will surprise you at any time.
Clark to Rashudo. The kick to centre-half forward. Bickley kept his eyes on it, couldn't take a good handball on the up there by Scholl to McGrath. No free kick to Kingsley, but Stevens over the top of him. Good kick down low. Bizzle almost. Ball to be won here. Crows get a few numbers around the ball up.
At the same time, the young Geelong players are really having a go at them. I mean, they're laying it all on the line. They're putting a physical pressure on the Crows, which is causing the errors. I mean, you could not be unhappy with the endeavour if you were the Geelong coach.
Well, they started the season well, the Cats. They made the finals last year. They had a very poor run.
Put Kane Johnson onto Justin Murphy as well.
They lost 5 in a row and have come back and won their last couple. Briggs in the pocket. Not going to come back. Just behind. He has lifted, Jared. The only thing with the Cats, you see who they've beaten this year. West Coast, St Kilda, Fremantle, the bottom 3. They're the 3 that can't make it. Richmond last week in a bit of a flat spot. So they need to jump up and beat a good team. And today's the day they can do it.
Yeah, to give them the credibility that they earned last year, I think you're right, Bruce. But you're not being too harsh on this lethargy issue, Corngier, given that they have had the ball in their forward line, Adelaide, so many times.
I'm not being harsh. I'm just trying to work out why it's not flowing smoothly for them and why Geelong is able to take the game up to them.
So the Crows with 3 or 4 short kicks around the boundary. They get it up almost to centre wing.
It's just quite obvious Geelong came here with a very definite game plan, and they're sticking to it very, very well.
Rodram, Johnson, Smart the target. Good mark. Well, not paid. King was there. Smart went early, which was a terrific ploy, and probably just needed another half a second on it, and he would have been paid.
Well, I guess it was technically a good decision because at no stage did he control it.
Play it for effort, wouldn't you?
Yeah, in the schoolyard you would.
Maybe not at centre-half forward, 50 from home.
4 touches.
But control?
No, never.
So 5-9 to 4-4. It's an ugly arm wrestle. Nothing pretty. Johnson getting plenty of it now. Latham finds a way, and there goes the torpedo. Just missing.
The May won't go through.
Well, that was a tremendous kick from Chris Latham. Launched it. Now Adelaide man on man on the kick-off again, so let's see how they can contain the catch. And Scarlett kicking off. It's working all right for Adelaide at the moment. Sorry, Uncle Wilkie.
So Kingsley's the target. Wide, needs the bounce. He's going to be outnumbered. He broke the tackle of Goodwin and then kicks the spin line versus Bizzle. Ricciuto, just a bit quick for Crow. Wasn't a great handle. Spriggs having a good game. Run down.
He's in the act of kicking.
He tried to kick that.
He's in the act of kicking. How can he be...
That is definitely not holding the ball.
He's in the act of kicking.
Still didn't get rid of it. Of course it's holding the
The
ball.
rule says you've got to be given some opportunity.
And he wasn't.
The ball's in half
He was
forward.
running. He was trying to kick and they...
Back to Scarlett. Misses the target. Well done, Cats, to get in there. Kane Johnson off one leg. Kicks to about 20 metres. Clark. Free kick to Bagra against Clark. He gave him, I think he just whipped him around at the back.
I better be careful with corners. I won't get pancakes again in this place like this morning, Bruce.
Houlihan. Gee, I live next door to him. I've never been invited for pancakes. Here's Scarlett at centre wing. Scarlett's kick to about 50. Graham, no, not quite, needed to take it. Hart. Still like Ben Graham's got to impose himself on this match. He's the one real chance. McLeod, I know they've got to get it to him. McLeod, slow kick, not a good kick. Crow had to wait.
That last marking effort was the closer to Ben Graham. That's the sort of mark you should be able to take. He had to sit. The ball was up there for him. Got hands to it, but just didn't hold it.
They've had a great day, the defence for Adelaide. Particularly the last line of defence. It's been superb.
Clark pushes it forward to about 50. White seems to have lifted a bit. Robran, and White giving it away a bit easily. And then Robran coming back. Well done. Now under pressure. McLeod still getting a lot of it. Like Johnson. Like him a lot. Kick to Smart. It's a good one. The Ricciuto's on. No, he goes a bit wider to Edwards. Now to the Roo. Ricciuto probably to run off. No, decides to go back inboard. 2 goals the difference in this match. 2 straight kicks. Ricciuto to Edwards. Now the handball on. Sucks on the way through. Bickley scurries off and then gives it all he's got to full forward. We've seen this so many times today. Push to Clark, free kick.
Tall player down there. They haven't got the men to go with him. They've got their best tall defender at full forward in Ben Graham. And all of a sudden, he drags a free kick.
It was Stephen King. It wasn't you, Steve. Don't just watch it again. But Stephen King protesting, but he did quite courageously coming back into the effort to try and mark. But why would King be that end of the ground? Why would he be up forward?
Hasn't kicked a goal all year, Clark. He's 30 metres out. He has now.
I think he did it comfortably.
Clark is playing forward with Marsh on the ball. King does his best damage with Geelong when he's resting up forward.
But the King's on the ball, isn't he?
Pardon?
King's on the ball.
Yeah, but so is Marsh. Clark's got a man back there somewhere.
So McLeod's been taken to the back line for the Geelong have been able to get him to full back. He's standing Bizzle at the moment. Goodwin trying to get it out of the centre. This is the moment now that Geelong have got a hold through, and they're 3 goals behind. Crows have been able to get away a bit. Scholes kicked to half-forward. Kingsley. Pretty good, I reckon. The first quarter he did well on Stevens.
A lot of goals for the Roos and the reserves.
Here's McLeod down back against Bizzle. Runs away, aided by Robran. Then the kick into the centre to Bickley. Bickley got a shield and then held up. Spriggs been terrific. Cut out. Latham cleverly done. Bickley to get it back. Bickley's kick to centre half forward. No one there. Riley versus the Roo. Ricciuto. I think he fancies this. Goes back, misses the target. Well played by Burton or Johnson it was. Burton it was. And then Rashudo held up. Cat goes to the ground. That was Scholl. Back to Raleigh. Back it goes to Murphy. Should deliver. He wants Graham. Hart behind him. Probably the best spot for that sort of a kick. Ben Graham, can he sprint it and get rid of it? Briggs has been terrific. Goes to Bluey. McGrath to another Bluey and Ling. Ling squeezes. Bizzle. Well done at the back by the Crows. Scholl has run forward. Handball, a hot one for Bizzle. Cats desperate to get a goal out of this. They haven't had many chances. Crows get away. Hart. Crowd got it to him. Bickley can go to the centre, decides not to, and kicks it. Bix, what are you doing? He kicks it to Murphy. He had 3 Crows in the centre of the ground.
Rashudo's absolutely gone here.
Kick to Spriggs. McLeod one out. Robin, well, a bit lucky there. Robin will use Hart. No, he hacks it to the line. Gee, Rashudo, he's gone, isn't he, Phil?
That bit of hard work here has really showed up his problem. He's got the chest and breathing problem, and he gives it everything he has for a couple of quarters. Have a breather, he'll come back on. Peter Barty comes on to replace him.
Graham.
They're throwing it out at them. A couple of Crows look on their last legs. If they can just hold on here, the Crows, I think they can break Geelong. But importantly, if they can get a couple of goals, she'll be on at 3/4 time.
Good mark, Burton. He had to run hard. So Vardy on for Rashudo. And immediately gets a mark. Uses the left foot of Goodwin. He uses Jarman. Yep.
Yeah, this is what he loves. Bit of a restructure here for Adelaide. Darren Jarman's gone forward. It was a great mark by Vardy. Got it off to the running Goodwin, and the shepherd was what was needed.
Goes to Edwards.
Interesting mark by Jarman, given that it was a juggled mark, whether or not he controlled it before it went over the line.
And Jared, this for the players going to hurt the Cats because they weren't in control for a while.
Yeah, spot on.
But they've been game and they've threatened, but you've never felt in these days they're going to take the game away from Adelaide. Byron has sounded.
Well, 3 goals at the moment, 6-10 to 4-4. This basically doubles the score, doesn't it, if he kicks it? It's not life or death, it's not the 4 points or 0 points, but in the context of a low-scoring game, this is a big kick. 48 metres out, coming back, he's kicked the goal! Momentum is a wonderful thing in football, and the Crows have got heaps of it right now.
Geez, it's a funny ball, our football. It looked as if it was going to swing the other way, and then all of a sudden, it must have hit the seam and came back beautifully for 4 points, 6 points.
Cornsey says, here, I agree with you completely. At 3/4 time, the Crows lead by 52 to 28.
At these prices, don't miss being a part of the action at Repco.
Fram oil filters, huge range, premium quality for all popular vehicles from $4.95. Champion spark plugs, pack of 4 from $9.95. Castrol GTX motor oils, 5 litre GTX2, only $16.48. Sellies and Turtle bonus deals, wash and wax, bug off, degreaser and RP7 bonus packs from $2.95.
At Repco, we know what it is, we know where it goes.
These Adelaide school children are doing their bit to keep our state clean and green. They've grown and planted thousands of trees on the banks of the Murray, and it's helping bring our greatest resource back to life. A growing future on 7 News this week.
Porsche, Audi, BMW offer Tiptronic style transmission. Only one Australian constructed high-performance car provides the same exhilaration. Magna VRX with sports mode.
The art of taking a holiday. I can give you all the theory, but you're going to have to put it into practice yourself. Go on, get out there. See Australia.
People travel from all over the world to see the Outback. Fortunately, we have it on our very own doorstep. The Stratco Outback. A veranda, carport,
patio and pergola system with exclusive design features and a brilliant high-gloss colour bond finish. The Stratco Outback is unique and affordable, and you need travel no further than Stratco or an authorised dealer.
When you need sound financial advice to turn your dreams into reality or your life changes, talk to the people who know how to build and protect your nest egg. At Patrick Whelan Investments, they can tailor an investment plan to suit you. Patrick Whelan Investments.
Come on, missus, the drover cried. There must be something else to eat. I'm off to Australia's Pizza House. And he headed down the street. It wasn't long and he returned, dust rising from the track. Let's tuck right in, was his call. The great Aussie bite is back. Real pizzas, real prices.
The Lounge Sale. Be advised, don't buy any lounge suite until you see South Australia's largest lounge specialist, or you'll definitely pay too much. Up to 50% off and interest-free terms. But hurry, you better be quick. Discount Lounge Centre, Ranella, Parafield and Keswick.
Rockers have pulled out all stops to bring you some of the biggest bargains in the surplus stock sale catalogue.
Brighten up the inside of your car with a set of Ibiza coordinates. Rockers price $49.95 a set. 1550 kilogram trolley jack Rockers price $34. Motorway retreads just $23.50 each. Ask workshops about fitting and balancing.
You'll have to be quick. This is one sale catalogue you don't want to miss. I didn't think anyone could move so fast.
Check the catalogue out now.
On Today Tonight, the Neighbours versus the Adelaide pub.
Their lifestyles have been adversely affected.
Catching the Hoons on video.
Horrifying.
Noise, fighting, vandalism. But the publican claims it's a beat-up. 6:30 Monday.
Sevens Football Telecast. Proudly brought to you by West End Draft. West End, your first. McDonald's, make your day. And Mitsubishi Motors, driving your world. The AFL, in association with its premier partner, Carlton and United, proudly presents the 2001 Premiership season.
Three-quarter time here, highest scoring quarter of the match so far. Crows kicked 3 goals to 2 and they lead 52-28 with Edwards' goal right on three-quarter time. So now the other game, it's not quite three-quarter time at Colonial. We've been reminding you, don't look if you don't want to be compromised when you watch the replay. So here's the situation.
First 10 minutes of that quarter struggled, but they came home stronger.
Yeah, a lot better than the second part of that quarter. We just too many skill errors really at the moment. The ball's going in and coming out a fair bit to our inside our 50. We just need to be a bit more efficient, and you know that way we can tidy things up a little bit for ourselves.
Centre half forward, of course, is a bit of a problem.
Yeah, well, Brett Burton's gone in now and he moves around a fair bit, and you know we found that the ball's gone in and come out a little bit too much, but. Hopefully this quarter we've made a few little changes down there and I think we might be able to fix it up.
You've got the game by the throat, you just have to finish off.
Yeah, well we've sort of kept Geelong in it a fair bit I think, and you know we've just got to make sure that we control the things that we can control a little bit better.
Good luck, back to you, Beth.
Thanks, Curls.
And one of those changes that he's talking, Mark Vick was talking about the forward lines. Matthew Clark starting at full forward, Darren Jarman's in the pocket. Brett Burton's obviously going to run around at centre half forward with Brian Binky. Peter Vardy's out wide on one flank, and Andrew McLeod on the other flank will obviously change with.
You can see how Penny Marsh goes because he is an emerging talent. He's just got to get more game time, but he's starting off smack bang in the middle.
So here we go, and he got up pretty high. Stephen King and Ben Graham are probably the two cats that need huge last quarters here. They're only 4 goals behind, but the bottom line for them is they've only kicked 4 goals in 3 quarters of footy. They probably need to kick 6 or 7 to have any chance of winning this game.
Look, you have to admire their endeavour, and I suppose we're probably underestimating Adelaide's ability to withstand the persistence of Geelong. Geelong have done well defensively, they've done well to make a contest, but they just haven't had an effective attacking strategy.
So Adelaide attacking here. Marsh versus King. King won it pretty easily to Shoal, but just the Ling going the wrong way there. I mean, Clark, and then Goodwin goes forward. Jarman, a clever little tap out. Now Phil Vardy went the wrong way. Should have gone to the left, goes back to Goodwin. Goodwin hooks back, and Milburn doesn't mark it, and then scoops it away, and high against Jarman. So McGrath's got it. Wide to Harley. Harley to halfback. Now Mitchell White running hard for him, and there'll be a boundary throw. Crows win this match, and if the results went that Collingwood and Richmond both lost today, they'd be 5th tonight. It'd be a massive jump up for them. Bizzle, Corey, Chapman, Wojcinski interchange. Cats also need to win to get into that 5-5 mix. If they're on 4 wins there with the Kangaroos. Still a chance, but giving some ground. Crow, first time we've already seen him. He came on in the 3rd quarter. His kick is a good one to Binky. An open forward line for a moment. Clark and Jarman. Jarman leads. Binky could use him. He does now. He'll find him. Oh no, what was Mark Stevens doing? So the Cats away.
They didn't get it away, but it was a far better and creative setup. They had Clark shepherding for Jarman. Jarman got away, could have taken the mark, but was interfered with by his own teammate.
Matthew Robin there saying, look, talking boys, but look, it's a dilemma. We might see it again in a minute, but Mark Stevens running back, wanting to contest, filling up the space of Darren Jarman and in fact spoiling him. Do you want 2 players going for a ball or none at all?
This is interesting that Clark's gone to full forward. Now Clark dominated King. King is on top of Marsh in the rucks at the start of this last quarter. Marsh may be the better option forward and Clark on the ball. Raleigh to Clark. That's David Clark to Mitch. Good kick. Got him.
Well, the first goal was always going to be critical. Again, Adelaide having to play, but the Geelong turnover, quick rebound, Mensch, much underestimated player and underrated, as we've often said. Had space in front of him. The kick was good, takes the mark, and now kicks the goal.
Cats get the all-important first one.
At these prices, don't miss being a part of the action at Repco.
Bram oil filters, huge range, premium quality for all popular vehicles from $4.95. Champion spark plugs, pack of 4 from $9.95. Castrol GTX motor oils, 5 litre GTX2, only $16.48. Sellies and Turtle bonus deals, wash and wax, bug off, degreaser and RP7 bonus packs from $2.95.
At Repco, we know what it is, we know where it goes.
There's the captain, Bassett and Welsh next to him, so Rashudo not back out there, just McGregor with them, just a 3-goal game. King using his body, nothing happening though. Marsh did well that time to Laddams. Laddams banging to centre half forward. Sanderson, good mark.
It's been solid, hasn't he?
Right out of this match, they get another goal closer, they'll get an enormous lift, and they're starting to run.
King just getting involved, isn't he? And the kick down the line to Harley. Harley inside 50, goes for goal now. Good kick, he's got it. They're only 2 goals behind.
Introducing the crispy chicken breast fillet burger from McDonald's, combining garden salad, mayonnaise, and a succulent chicken breast fillet with a mild spicy coating, all on a toasted bun. Try the delicious southern taste today.
Hello? Yeah, look, I want to quit smoking.
Sure, well, you've taken the first step. That's great.
Planning ahead is really important.
And I can send you a quit book if you'd like.
Call Quitline on 131 848. 131 848.
So 2 goals of difference. The Cats with a run on here. They need the next one. 40,466 the official attendance, so terrific crowd. Got plenty to cheer about, but plenty to get anxious about. Marsh went straight to Ling, to Murphy. Cats are rolling. Murphy to full forward. Graham couldn't get into the contest. They're away. It's coming back. Kingsley was away into an open goal.
It was hard to see what it was.
Luck's a fortune. Tell you what, it's a pretty big call and a lucky one for the Crows because Kingsley was home.
Well, he'd run 25 metres.
So, Hart to Crow. What do you reckon, Curls? Any chance the Cats?
Oh, my word, they're right in this game. I don't know why they take Clark and put Marsh. Clark's done a great job in ruck all day. He's had the better of King. King's on top now.
Edwards in the back pocket. So the Crows forced to defend pretty hard here. Out wide. Boundary throw.
One thing we haven't discussed today, Bruce, is the absence of Gary Hocking. He pulled out with a knee injury, degenerative knee we know he's got. Trained late in the week, couldn't come up for the match. You just wonder how much footy is left in the great good of Hocking.
He always plays well against the Crows too.
Houlihan to Clark. We just hope that we haven't seen all his great days. He's been just a wonderful player. How good was Burns? I was about to say magical. Well, Burns did something magical to Murphy.
No, Murphy's such a good kick. He should go back and try and slot this. Just watch Ronnie Burns. Loses it. Hooks it up. Now, I think it's lucky. I'm not sure he actually saw Justin Murphy there.
Didn't he?
I think he aimed at him.
I think he had a split second. He just looked up.
Well, let's give him the credit.
And he's given it to a bloke who can kick goals.
Gee, goal, he'd be handy. Well, I'm unbiased as we sit here and watch a good game of footy, and Murphy's... Well, he hasn't kicked the goal, has he? Stop. Conti, you're allowed to barrack for the Crows. You've coached them. I haven't got any excuses.
They've got to nail those. They've got to nail those goals to win the match.
Yep, no, fair point, girls. Tell you what, just the fallout for the Crows if they happen to lose this one with the control they've had. Talkback radio would be pretty big during the week, Paulsy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they'll all be on the coaching panel's case again.
Edwards, good kick. Finds Burton. Now where does he go to? He can go into the centre. Finds Stephen to just had to hold it up a bit and then kicks to Clark. Comes away the ball. Sanderson just stopped Burton's run and Milburn got a high one.
I think the player was quite legitimate to hold his ground, Big League, but the ball just bumped him with his head.
Shudo coming on, curls.
Yes, he was exhausted before.
Sanderson, Clark up the ground. She's slow to get his handball. That was an important play by Goodwin because the Cats were nearly away.
We saw some determination on Simon Goodwin then. He was trying to get the ball, trying to set the Adelaide players free, but young Ling has done a pretty good job on him, I'd have to say.
Replacing Vardy
in recent quarters.
So Rashudo hasn't really run out there, has he? Now he's jogging on the spot. Not much energy for Adelaide at half forward right now. Not much energy when they get there. Clark, McLeod, Houlihan, Clark again. Well done to Crow. Milburn across, belts it. It's an important ball. Smart. He did it well. 54 metres out. Ball to the pocket. Binky, Jarman, the chances, left foot. Binky misses.
There's moments in the game where you see Adelaide's key players. We talk about Rashudo, Smart, McLeod, Goodwin, and they seize the moment. And Nigel Smart just grit his teeth and went after that ball. But Adelaide man on the kickoff. This will be interesting.
Ling, Goodwin, back to Ling. He's played well, Ling. Kick to centre wing. Good handball back, Burns. To Scholl. Scholl's kick down the line. Minch, terrific mark. Plays on quickly to about 50. King versus Robran. Robran with a foot towards the line. White just out, boundary throwing.
It's interesting that Minch is running onto the ball and King is going to centre half forward. They just seem to call that change themselves. Minch starting at centre half forward, King starting in the ruck, but they'll just switch.
So Clark and King again. Back to Spriggs. Had a fantastic third quarter. Pretty good game all day. Little one in the pocket. David Clark's kick only to McLeod. McLeod looks up. He's got Laddam short. Here's a chance. He finds Johnson right in the centre square now. Johnson is in trouble. No, he's all right. No one's come to him yet. Little kick is a good one. Marsh takes it. The kick terrific. Comes back to Hart. To Jarman. Short to the pocket. On the up the handball. Missing the target, Binky. And the Cats are away.
It's not a scrappy game now.
Here's Spriggs.
Got McLeod deep, so it's a good decision to come in short.
King.
Ronnie Burns has had no impact, but you suspect that maybe he won't go without at least getting some sort of action. He had his opportunity.
Oh, he did have his opportunity. Look at Mitchell White. He's beside himself.
Well, I'd like to have another look at it. He did look as if he had control of the mark.
No, I think it was on holding the ball.
He was complaining about holding the ball. Ronnie Burns had a touch of it, but it was the...
we've got...
Well, breaks it back in again.
Murphy with a blood. No, Murphy's changed.
So Murphy off for Chapman. Burns has kicked a goal in every match he's played this year. He hasn't got one today. Just feel like he could do something here to break the Crows' solid wall. Handball out from King to Chapman. It's not going to be a goal. In fact, it's a behind. But the Cats are doing the attacking. The Crows, well, they've rearranged their forward line, but not a whole lot's happened up forward this quarter for them.
Midfield, Geelong has been able to apply some pressure. They're getting some good results from their on-ballers.
Smart at 50. Defensive 50, that is.
I don't know why McLeod spending so much time back. He's a dangerous midfielder.
13 goals only. Well into the last quarter. On a day like today in Adelaide, you can't believe it, can you? 7 goals to 6. Stevens.
I reckon if you said, Bruce, that Geelong were only 12 points behind and Graham hadn't had an influence and Burns hadn't had an influence, that you'd be mad.
And King was well held. Yeah. Terrific mark, Goodwin. It's just credit for the Cats that they've had their guns down and yet they've been able to hold on. And there's still a chance. And the stakes are so high here. We talked about at the start of the match, the Crows could be either 5th or 12th tonight. They're the extremes. Geelong 7th or 12th. Huge difference as to who wins this game. Clark. Defensive type kick to the... Oh, Mark,
that's
there he is.
can do.
Can't mark that sitting on the bench for a half, can you?
That's a great mark. And he can do it.
Got forwards looking into the sun here, though.
It must be a problem, girls. They're all doing it, aren't they? So yes. Marsh sets it up. It's not going to be an easy avoid of Marsh. Smart! Smart does it! Not by G. Out to Rodman. Rodman slaps the handball back. Then Shoal, McLeod, and Jarman and Shoal.
Oh, McLeod.
Gee, I thought Smart had it.
Well, he had a couple of bites at it. Have a look at it.
Maybe he didn't. I don't know. It looked to me a bit.
Both Mark and Marsh.
It's Ben Marsh.
So the throw in. Cats hanging on. Crows haven't scored a goal in this quarter. McLeod had it for a long time. A little kick wide. And forced over the line. It's Smart. What do you think?
Nigel Smart coming up. Let's have a look at it. Big leap, gets first grab to it. One, gets out, takes it again. Ooh, you've seen worse paid, haven't you?
So the ball came out when he hit the ground, didn't it?
Yeah.
Well, is that Goodwin in trouble? Goodwin is in trouble. Off the ground there, Goodwin. Shoal away. To Graham.
Go long to King. He's one out. That's Clark. You'd back him home, wouldn't you?
Just use that kick, Ben. Use your kick.
To White. Okay. King's in the goal square against Clark. White at 50. Oh, no. Crowd came across. White's handball. Finds Bizzle. Bizzle had it for a long time. He's gone holding the ball. That is an absolute waste for Geelong. Mitchell White made a huge error there.
You can't hesitate, Bruce. The first option is always the best. And,
Johnson, sorry, Corky. To Edwards. Agree with you, yeah. To Bickley. Bickley running low to Marsh. Not paid.
Oh, it's got to be free.
Gee, suddenly they look a bit different from Marsh up there.
Well, suddenly the game looks different. It's gone from a...
I just had to laugh at Jared's look at me. He's been writing down Bring Marsh on for about an hour and a half.
Well, I reckon he's a kid, Bruce, that has got enormous potential, either as a key forward, as we've just seen. He can kick goals, and also as a ruckman. But he's got to be out there. He's got to develop.
Well, they need it, don't they?
It was the strategy.
They need this one.
Save him until the game really needed him.
50 metres out.
Kick right.
Big, high, towering kick for a goal. G'day, Larry.
Hey, morning, Larry.
G'day, Larry. What about the turnover for Geelong at centre-half forward a minute ago.
Yeah, both White and Bizzle trying to do too much with the ball. You've got Ben Graham probably going too short when the kick to the goal square would have seen King one out. You've just got to assess these moments, and the first option is always the best one. See it, give it.
Was that the Cats' last chance? We don't know yet. Johnson out of the centre, throws with numbers. Burton stood tall, stretched out his arm, goes to McLeod, puts him under pressure. Little cute kick, Marsh. Doesn't quite. Scarlett. Burton's handball to McLeod was not a good option. He had him under the gun. Mensch. Ling shrugs off Bickley. Ling to half forward. Graham held on to, free kick to Graham against Hart.
The crowd is actually booing the decision, but Benny Hart did have his arm.
Well, the captain's picked the goal now. The old cliche in footy, a captain's goal.
Just
needed right now.
You see the restriction, they're holding him back.
Houlihan on for Bizzle.
So, who better than Ben Graham from here? Great looking kick, terrific kick, a goal. Well, they're not out.
Mitre 10 understands that getting the right advice when and where you need it can save you a lot more than money.
I'll tell you when it's level. I'll hold it.
That's why we've introduced the Mitre 10 advice line, 136310.
All right, so, yep, we can fix it.
So now you can call any day and get expert on-the-job solutions that will save you time, money, and even face.
I'm going to have to chisel a bit off the other one.
There's the bomber Thompson. Just knows they've got a roll of the dice left, haven't they? There's still a chance, there's enough time. They've kicked 3 goals in this quarter. They kicked 4 in the first 3. Adelaide almost going up and down in the one spot. Not quite. Clark, Johnson. A couple of clearances for him in the last quarter. Smart to half forward. Burton front spot. Takes a good mark again. Don't think he'll go with a handball this time.
Jarman in the goal square.
It was taking too long. He was going to
go short to Jarman. Jarman keeps his feet. Left foot, front of the square. Good one out of it. Binky, and then Scholl concedes.
So it might have been a dangerous behind to concede at the moment. Didn't have much room to move in or anywhere else to go.
Gee, it's important here, man on zone. They're going to play on quickly. Goodwin's in all sorts of trouble, Curls. I mean, he's out there at the moment.
Danny Cramp, I think.
Yep. Scarlett. Well, here's a pretty loose kick by Scarlett. Smart takes them on, gets caught. Ball comes out, Stingline. Haven't caught him for a while, Stingline. He's obviously tagging. Ball up.
We're tired of the players now. Yeah, Welch getting ready to come on, so he'll be replacing Goodwin, perhaps.
Stingline just following Ronnie Burns around. You just have to say, he's been one of their best players. Ron Burns has had 4 kicks, 2 handballs, and importantly for Geelong, no shots at goal.
And did the job last week too on Michael Voss till Voss was injured.
Mensch, McLeod. Well done, McLeod. Back turn. Handball. Robran finds a way to Kane Johnson. Little kick, dinky one. Bickley, it sits. It sits. Goes for goal. Kicks it too hard.
He wasted a lot of ball, Mark Bickley today.
Just kicked it too hard. He was tight in the pocket. He had to dribble it to the goal.
He missed a lot of movement too in general field play.
It's out of bounds on the field here. Adelaide's still manning up pretty well. That's the one feature of their game in recent weeks is one-on-one they've been very, very accountable.
It's the Gary Ayres trademark, isn't it? Good mark, Harley.
He's done well, actually. Harley.
Played at Norwood, didn't he, Tom Harley?
It was on Port Adelaide's list in the early year too.
Kicked short, fell short in the end. Murphy down to Clark. Clark and Spriggs have been hard workers for the Cats. Crowd just worked wide off it. Laddams to get back. Oh, bad handball. He handballed when he'd lost his balance, and then Crowd tied up. Ball up.
They're having a real crack Geelong. They're not giving this game away.
A couple of kicks, 13 points.
Was Murphy injured when he came off, Curls?
No.
Because he may have just run out of steam. Hasn't had a lot of it in the second half. He's had 22 touches. but he is a bloke that can kick the miraculous goal.
King and Clark in the goal square for the Cats. One out, but McLeod gets the kick away. Crows will probably want the boundary line. McGrath's got it. It's centre wing. Hooks it back to about half forward. McLeod marks it.
Had a big last quarter, McLeod. And lots of the footy.
Well, the game was there to be won, and that's when the truly great players for Adelaide will come to the fore. Geelong just haven't been able to find anyone who can break the game open for them.
They're flooding back Geelong.
It's a very good kick. How he can find Matthew Robin with no one around him is...
That was Edwards finding him, and then Robin goes long to Smart. He's a bit of a target, Smart, and someone at the back, I think Burton's even a better target. He's just so hard to beat in the aerial contest, Burton. He's going to go very short to the pocket. Finds Johnson. Johnson, good kick. Oh, what a goal.
Introducing the crispy chicken breast fillet burger from McDonald's, combining garden salad, mayonnaise and a succulent chicken breast fillet with a mild spicy coating, all on a toasted bun. Try the delicious southern taste today.
Hello? Yeah, look, I want to quit smoking.
Sure, well, you've taken the first step. That's great.
Planning ahead is really important.
And I can send you a quit book if you'd like.
Call Quitline on 131 848. 131 848.
So the big last quarter, Kane Johnson. In fact, he's had 13 and 4, and he's hardly played in the first half. Wide off the ground, injured.
He doesn't look good, does he? In fact, he really has struggled to put his year together. He's had some good moments. Murphy back on the ground. Had some good moments for the Cats, but it's just had too many injuries.
Minch unopposed. Still the Cats come forward, but, well, time a problem. They've got to... You back Minch here, gets them back to within 13 points. So Minch has already kicked a goal in the last quarter. 40 metres out, directly in front, keeps the Cats in with just a chance.
That was a good clearance.
Been a great game, sorry, but it's going down to the wire.
Yeah, Bizzle has replaced Chapman.
Unfortunately, though, fellas, you don't get points for effort. Geelong's effort has been great today. There's something miraculous happening. They're not going to get the points, and Adelaide will breathe a sigh of relief.
They've kicked as many goals in the last quarter as they kicked in the first three, the Cats. Ling out of the centre, Stevens, good handball, Johnson having a huge impact now to Robrin. Robrin's kicked wide. Binky and McGrath run hard. Ball out the back, free kick to McGrath, hanging on. Binky's influence has eroded as the match has gone on. Short to Sanderson. Got to take chances, the Cats, don't they? They've got to run the ball here. Houlihan, he's got out wide. The target's Harley. Jarman. Harley's got it. They've got to move and move here. They need 3 goals or 2 goals and a couple of points. The kick to half forward. Hart. What a game. Good kick to Marsh. He's got him. And you'd reckon that the Crows are going to hang on.
Good to go yet, Bruce. Enough time.
About 2.5 minutes of actual playing time, Kills. The Adelaide should be able to control it from here.
Well, they're going to use the ball. If the Geelong boys get hold of it and score.
This is winding down the clock as well.
Laddams. Played every match this year, Laddams, the rookie.
He's got about 3 players behind him. Obviously, they're not going to just chip it.
Slow kick to Vardy.
Backwards.
Cut off by Spriggs. He did run out. Spriggs' kick almost getting to Kingsley. Chuck, high tackle on Graham Shorley to Burns. Can Ronnie produce something?
Just needed the magic there. He was off balance. I mean, he's kicked harder goals, there's no doubt about it. He just didn't have enough time to settle and get that left leg around.
Back to 2 goals. 2 kicks here.
Oh, they needed that one.
Might have been an important behind.
Take a look at this one, Cornsey, to see the ball went out. Difficult to see on that.
Standard umpire was right there.
Rashudo, he's got Crowell this side. He's got McLeod short. The umpire will tell him to go in a minute, I think. For a couple of seconds. He goes very, very long. At the back was Minch. Vardy had no impact today, been on the interchange for most of it. No free kick. King back to Graham. Graham back inboard to Ling. Ling goes to centre half forward. Cat still coming. Hardly any time for them. Clark can get a goal here. There's enough time for one last crack. Clark sits it up high. Can someone take the mark? They can.
Better hurry.
Kingsley's got it.
He's kicked a few goals in his time. Not too many at AFL level as young Ken Kingsley. 4 goals, 6 for the year prior to this game.
How much time to go, boys? They've still got time?
They have got time to at least square the game. Kingsley's kicked for goal.
Post. He's hit the post.
That's a shot.
They've now got time to win it.
And Mark Thompson, well, what do you do? How do you coach that?
Well, he's a bit lucky to hit the post in the end. Crows will win now, but 9-12, 8-7. Sort of fallen over the line, Adelaide, haven't they? Cats have come hard in the last quarter. Belter back to Burns. Hamble, Corey to Bizzle. Bizzle. Right. Robram did well, did very well. McLeod takes them on a bit, then mungles it forward. Gee, Burton's got good hands. You know that already, don't you? That's a great mark.
Great mark. Great work by Matthew Robram, who's having a pretty fair season for the Crows.
Short to Bickley.
That was Burton's 12th mark.
And probably one of his hardest actually running back. Was a great Bickley to John out on the court. Don't say anything, Curls. Don't say a word, Curls. So Harley in the back pocket. Adelaide are going to make it 6 wins from their last 7 matches, and they're going to get themselves deep into the 8, but they haven't been convincing. A win's a win. They've had very few big wins this year, the Crows. Their biggest winning margin is 28 points against Richmond at the MCG.
Bruce, it doesn't have to be convincing. The points are important. It's round 11. After the start, I think they would have taken these last few weeks. Geelong came and played some very, very good competitive football. They had a plan to restrict Adelaide. Didn't quite have the counter plan to attack.
Yeah, he beat there, McLeod. I reckon he was the one player that was probably a little bit flat coming in, and he really pushed himself to produce a good performance.
Let's go down and join the king, Neil Curley.
Yeah, thanks, Bruce. Well, mate, that turned out to be a real toughie.
Yeah, we always knew they were going to come out hard after we've been in pretty good form, so it was good to get away with the points in the end.
You've had a slow start, due to a couple of injuries. You feared you're coming back into your best?
Yeah, I've just been coming off the bench the last couple of weeks to get a bit of fitness up and not break down at the same time, and so I felt a bit better in that last half, so hopefully I'll go on next week.
Matty Clark was good for you today.
Yeah, he stood up really well. King is a pretty important player for them, and he had a big job and did pretty good for us.
And Burton just started to really take his marks.
Oh, he's really good for us across the half forward. He's a good target. We've lacked that in the early games, and he's really standing up for us.
You're right up there in the 8 now. Well done. Enjoy yourself. Back to you, Bruce.
Thanks, Neil, with Kane Johnson, who kicked a pivotal goal, as it turned out, in the last quarter. It gave Adelaide breathing space, and it was the one they needed. In fact, they only got 2 in the last quarter, and the Cats got 4. So the Crows 6-4 after 10. They've got 3 of their next 4 games here against the Bulldogs, West Coast and Collingwood, and in between that they go to Colonial to play Essendon. So let's go down with Gary Ayres is with Neil Curley.
Yeah, thanks, Bruce. Gary, you always knew it was going to be tough. That was tough.
Yeah, it was. Look, it wouldn't have been a great advertisement for footy today, I wouldn't think, perfect day. And it probably just shows, though, too, how taxing the last 2 weeks has been on the road for us, I think. And we look flat, but, look, I'm very happy to get the 4 points because these are the games where you do tend to get very worried because you could quite easily get an upset. But today they hung on, and that's all we had to do.
Benny Mars just showed a couple of signs up forward there for you.
Yeah, he did. He came on the lead well, and that's his go. But I thought probably Benny Hart was really, really good at in our, and I thought our defence really just stood up in that last half when they needed to.
4 valuable points, all the very best.
Thanks, Neil, and thanks to Gary Ayres too. pre- and post-match interviews there. And he probably summed it up well. He said the last couple of weeks we've been on the road. We've beaten Richmond and also Brisbane, and 4 points are 4 points. But it was tough, it was tight, and they do shape their season, Jared, in the next month. 3 games at home against winnable opposition. The Bombers, admittedly, as tough as it gets at Colonial.
Yeah, but the Bombers have got their injuries, and I think Lee Matthews has debunked a few of the myths. So that it was a fantastic aspect of coaching during the week when he mentioned that they were only human and they bled and they went out and they beat them. And I think some of the Bombers' strength has been that mystique about their invincibility. But geez, the Crows would be now looking for a top 4 position, I would think, Corns in. And whilst Gary Ayres wasn't all that flowing in his praise for Ben Marsh, I reckon he can be a player that can transform that forward line.
He's struggled to make his mark in Adelaide. I think he's struggled to convince the coaches of what he can do since he's come back from that knee injury. But he always looks so threatening.
He's so mobile and quick.
He made the difference in Adelaide's forward line. We saw a really messy, competitive, scrappy game in the first half. There was no room at all in Adelaide's forward line. Just the presence of the big fella down there seemed to open it up. Both teams opened their game up accordingly in the last quarter and a half. But there's nothing like having a big tall man in the forward line to go to.
No, I reckon Stenbline's also a find for the Crows. He's had some big jobs in the game he produced. Wasn't a high-profile player. Bruce didn't call him all that much.
Bring it up.
Ronnie Burns is a match winner and he took him out of the game.
Good point. Here's the song. So the Crows getting home.
Some tired boys,
Interesting
Bruce.
looking at the faces there. Some of them happy and some of them realising they've got a bit to do personally, don't they? It was one of those games. The Cats certainly took it up for the Crows. It was a battle. It wasn't pretty, that's for sure. But in the end, the Crows by 11 points. 9-12 to 8 goals, 7.
Ci tengo alla mia macchina, sai, è proprio un amore. Capirai, quindi mi è venuto quasi un attacco cardiaco quando ha cominciato a fare bang, bang, bang. L'ho portato subito oltre Ciune e il meccanico mi ha detto che si trattava del timing. Hanno fatto la diagnosi, me l'hanno aggiustata e non mi hanno fatto pagare mica tanto, sai. Oltre Ciune, brava gente. I speak my language.
Nobody keeps Adelaide more informed about the world around us, because nobody knows Adelaide like 7.
You want to call overseas when it suits you, not when it suits your phone company. With Optus, all our pre-selected customers automatically get our best long-distance offer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call the UK, USA or New Zealand from your home phone and the most you'll pay is $6.50 for up to 3 hours. It's called Optus Free Time and every country has a free
one, but not too many players are going to retire with 2 premierships under their belt.
No, I felt, I've been very lucky to come to Adelaide and have two premierships, and the move to Adelaide probably reborn me as such, and probably put a couple extra years on my career really.
It's not really the years that are worrying, it's the old backers, I believe, playing right up.
Yeah, the backs just probably brought it forward a little bit probably a year forward than I wanted to, but I know I've had a good time and I've got as much as I could out of the old body, so.
You've given 100%, you're a credit to yourself, well done on a great career.
Thanks
Back to you,
much,
Anthony.
Thanks, girls. Gary Ayres out there on the ground, just walking past his players, and now over to them. Let's go back down to Bruce with Nick Stevens.
Plenty of touches, fantastic game for yourself.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Copped a bit of a knock early in the game and just ran through it, which was good.
excellent work early on. Just seemed to set it up that first quarter, but the second quarter they came back.
Yeah, we started well, but then let them get back into it in the second quarter, which was disappointing. But to the boys' credit, we went on and finished the game out well.
Yourself, bit of discussion about where you're going, but you signed on, and it seems to have sat well with you.
Yeah, no, it's been good. I'm happy to be at Port, and by the last 2 games, it looks like we're going to go places, so it's good.
Anything you'd like to say to Fabian Francis, who kicked 6 points?
No, he's done it all year for us, so he had to miss occasionally.
Well done.
They've got a good bunch of young players, Port Adelaide, haven't they?
Absolutely.
Very good. I mean, I mentioned about Lockwood being 22 years of age and Treadray being 22. That young fella there, Nick Stevens, and I mean, they've got plenty to build on, surely.
Yes, when they play that positive brand of footy, they look like a different team when they're poking around with a little kicks.
What about Murray, who didn't have much ground time? Burgoyne, who's still only a young player. Wanganeen not there. I mean, they've probably got to fight to retain him, but you would think that Wanganeen would stay here.
They've got a lot of runners and midfielders. I guess key position players have been the problem, but now all of a sudden they've got 3 forwards that can stand up in Treadray and Corns and Lockwood. They have got an ageing defence, which might be a worry for them in the future. Matty Primus getting the applause of the Port fans as he leads them off. But yes, a lot to look forward to, I think, for Port Adelaide next year.
No doubt about that, and gee, they come out in their numbers, don't they, to watch the showdown here in Adelaide. 42,500 people here today, and a beautiful day, and Port Adelaide, the victors. They deserved it. They kicked a big score in the first quarter. Adelaide came back at them, but they stood quite tall in the finish.
Where to for Adelaide then, Robbo?
Well, you know, you wonder. I mean, Curls was talking about the fact that he didn't think they had a go in the first term, but I'd rather give credit to the opposition. I thought this mob here were quite desperate. Their intensity and their intentions were stamped on the game early, and from that moment on, Adelaide looked as though they were not even warm. You know, you've got to be hot when you start the game. They didn't even look as though they were warm. These boys were men on a mission.
Well, Mark Williams, be pretty happy with that performance today. No doubt about that. Fabian Francis.
It's all psych, isn't it? It really is all psych. I mean, the way they played football in the first quarter, I think I said at the end of the term that it's some of the best football I've seen for the year.
Absolutely.
So it's just a psych thing. It's whoever your opponents are on the given day, I guess.
We can see Bruce down there getting ready for the presentation. Showdown 8.
Director with the Showdown Trophy to hand over.
Last week's win against Carlton was outstanding today. It's been awesome. Congratulations on winning Showdown 8.
Yeah, thanks very much.
The West End Showdown Cup for you.
The BOD.
Money always comes in handy down in South Australia, down at Port Adelaide. Obviously, great team effort today, and that was the thing that we really focused on. And you know, to finish off the season, our supporters really should be looking forward to next year. And thanks very much to West End. I'm sure there'll be a few of those drunk tonight. So thanks very much.
No, I'd just like to thank West End for putting the trophy and the money up, and thanks to the boys. It was just a fantastic effort when they really come back at us in that last quarter, able to kick away, and good to finish the season on the high. So thanks very much.
Well done.
Well, back to you, Anthony. Some pretty happy scenes down here.
Thanks, Bruce. Yes, very happy scenes in the Port room, and there the fans are getting their last kick out on Footy Park for the year. Robbo?
Oh, well, I think that's a terrific thing as well, to let people get out there and kick the football. The young kids love that. I think I heard Bruce Abernathy say that he was 14 years of age here in 1976 when there were 66,000 people at Football Park for for one of the local finals, and I'm sure that's the sort of thing that inspires Bruce and even the young kids of today to go on and play plenty of Aussie football, Aussie rules football, and hopefully one day play for Port Adelaide or the Adelaide Crows in the AFL.
Well, it's been a fantastic day here at Footy Park if you're a Port Adelaide supporter. They came out of the blocks, they kicked 9 goals, 6 in the first quarter. Adelaide responding with only 1-1, but they hit back in the second quarter. They kicked 7 goals, but in the end it wasn't enough. Port Adelaide winning 2019-139, defeating Adelaide 14-8-92.
7 Sport now takes you to Subiaco for the second half of our Sunday doubleheader.
Demons working the ball out of their defence. Melbourne trail after the Eagles have made a very good start. West Coast 2 straight goals, Melbourne 1-1. And this is against expectations. The Demons came in as favourites. Morrison's kick inside the 50 for the Eagles. Can't complete the mark. It's grabbed off the ground by Munro, who kicks a goal. Kane Munro in his second game.
Well, the young fella will remember this for a long time. Not only is he playing in Guy McKenna's last game of his career, but it's his second game, and he's bobbed up with a very classy goal, reading off the pack. I was just almost going to sort of note that how good Melbourne would have been in the clinches, but so far the Eagles have really been very good when the ball's been hitting the ground, and the young fella just swooped on that, no problems at all, and that'll give him a lot of confidence. And as a young player, that's all you need. You just need a few things to go your way very early in a game.
Kane Munro, the goal scorer, an 18-year-old from Victoria, from the Bendigo Pioneers. What a terrific goal. Out of the middle by Powell for the Demons, and that is an excellent mark taken by Woden. Woden kicked 4 last week in the Demons' victory over the Cats. He was best on ground, absolutely dominated, and he'll have to kick this from outside 50 to clear the man on the mark.
I'd say he'd be within his range, Shane Woden.
Oh, he's a beautiful kick.
Yep. We're playing a few games of reserves at East Fremantle a few years ago. I always thought he had the class then, and really has been a success story since he's moved to Melbourne.
Kicked it from about 52 or 3. Got the distance okay, but it's away to the left for a minor score.
And it really is a great story, a person like a Shane Woden, who put himself up. He went over to Melbourne. He sort of said, listen, I'm just here to have a go. You know, would you mind giving me an opportunity? And he has just made the most of it. And it's just fantastic when you see young players like that who just go over and give everything they've got, not recruited or anything. Didn't cost them a lot of money, and he's just been a fantastic performer for the Melbourne Football Club.
Absolutely remarkable story. Give their best and fairest a shake. Comes to Uze. Oh, beautiful kick. And the mark to Neitz. Gets the hand pass away. Leoncelli gets the goal.
Ah, there's that ad again. What ad? You know, the one with the dog on the bottle?
It's not a dog. It's a Tasmanian tiger.
Huh?
There's none left, you know.
What, they sold out?
No, no more Tasmanian tigers. They're extinct, although a lot of people reckon they're still out there in the Tasmanian wilderness.
Well, this one's definitely extinct.
Cascade Premium Light. It's the best light beer you'll ever taste.
Well, Melbourne have hit back and they trail by just 4 points. Jeff White wins in the middle. Can the Demons capitalise on his ruck knock? Down goes Leoncelli. Kemp is playing a game and a half. Away to Cousins. Kicked by Cousins towards half forward. Mitchell White beaten by Nicholson. Now the Demons have it. Ward the hand pass. Away to Jeff White. White over the wing. Well, Williams came to meet the ball. He did well to beat Bruce on that occasion. And Williams to the attacking 50. Ward takes it for the Demons. Not bad off the left hand. Collins, Phoebe. And through the middle, taken by Rigoni. Up towards half forward. Powell, beautiful. No whistle on the play. Bruce gets the hand pass. Jeffrey Farmer, and he drills one. Oh, it hits the post. It looked as though it had some right to left on it, and it just faded late.
And some of that class midfield of Melbourne starting to show through there. They've got a very good talented bunch of midfield players. Leoncelli, Woden, Rigoni, McDonald. Then you go forward, you've got Bruce, Neitz, Schwartz. Robertson can get in there and kick a goal.
Callum Chambers has just come off the ground for the Eagles, replaced by Adam Hunter, who was making his debut, a 19-year-old from Swan Districts. So have they got some first-year players, the Eagles?
Oh, that was
a high tackle.
Yeah, no two worries about that one. I think a reckless one there by young Chad Fletcher. You just get the feeling, Drew, at the moment that Melbourne are just starting to take a little bit of control of that after the Eagles got off to such a good start.
Here's McKenna spoiling Robertson. Ball's there for the Eagles. Banfield gets it up to Morrison. Kicked by Morrison. A lot of height in that, not much penetration. Ward takes the mark in front of Peter Matera.
That was very classy there to work himself in front of Peter Matera.
And at the moment, Peter Matera struggling. Hasn't had a possession. Taken by Ward, short of the 50. McKenna doesn't climb. He waits down. Bruce is there, number 32. He's got it, Cameron Bruce. Hand pass not perfect. Schwartz, 40 metres out. And that's right as well. Another behind.
And just slowly but surely, they're just starting to take control here. Their midfield players are starting to get on top, although Dean Kemp's doing very well as opposed to Leon Shelley. Kemp's had 6 possessions already. Leon Shelley just the 1. But he's really doing all the work on his own at the moment.
McIntosh kicks in. Delivers the ball well. Mark taken by Williams. Short of centre wing. And they've found a little bit of space here, the Eagles. Kick by Green. Up towards half forward. Well, here's the goal scorer, Munro. Well done, son, again. 2 against 2. Donnelly. Spoil came from the back, Ingerson. Phoebe after it for the Demons. Matera gets his first touch. Back he goes. And a kick by Turnbull. Offline. I'll tell you, this Ward sweeping up, mopping up pretty well. Playing a top game back in the back line for the Demons. Comes to Rigoni. His kick to Robertson. Closed down by McKenna. And McKenna takes him out. In the most legal of fashions, rather than take him out, he took him over the line.
Well, that's just old classic Guy McKenna here. Didn't get confused. Just to make sure he kept his eye on the middle of the body, and the player wasn't about to go anywhere.
He wants to come off, and he is coming off now. Billy McKenna off the ground for the first break.
So he's lasted 18 and a half minutes at the start of his last game. I'm sure we'll see him back.
Adrian, do you think that's going to be a bit of a state of the play today? Guy McKenna coming on and off the ground?
I reckon he might rest now to the last quarter, mate. He was really blowing hard there, digging deep for Champ, but they were going to Russell Robinson every time to expose him.
Well, he did a top job, though, Guy McKenna. A kick and a hand pass, and he laid a tackle as well. Here's a chance for the Demons. Neats fumbles it along the ground. Bit of a fumble in a dangerous position, but Banfield good enough. McIntosh, Williams. Kick by Williams to Mitchell White. Taken to ground illegally, and he'll take the free kick.
Well, he's come a long way up the ground to get his possession. Mitchell White is up around centre half back. Very smart, intelligent footballer. Here we can see the free kick. But the Eagles are certainly going to need to see more of him up around the half-forward line taking his grabs.
Simmons for the Eagles to half-forward. Collins, gee, courageous mark. Then he played on and was pinged. Embley, great tackle. Play on, says the umpire. Matera's in there fighting hard for it. And gets the ball out too. Woden uses his body well. Oh, and they worked it brilliantly through Phoebe and Ward. Bruce taken to ground in Simmons' tackle. Flips out the hand pass. Schwartz. Good persistence by the Eagles. And nothing's happening easily for the Demons. Comes to Mitchell White. Great kick. Mark taken by Embley just outside 50.
Got Peter Matera free if he wants to use him. He should have went. I don't know if it's within his range, this, for Andrew Embley. Peter Matera was on his own, about 20 metres away. Sometimes you just got to quickly move the ball on.
Eagles lead by 2 points. Embley, 53 metres from goal. And home it goes.
Returning from a meeting to find her brand new Barina in a bit of a bind, Jenny Scott reluctantly accepted assistance from a passing Samaritan. Fortunately, Jenny was insured with Amy and could take advantage of our new car replacement benefit. And in less than a week, she found herself in another brand new Barina, which all goes to prove.
Well, the crowd really coming to life. The umpire throwing the ball up for centre restarts because of relayed surface just in the centre circle. Melbourne have it. McDonald back to Uze. Kick by Uze. That's a free kick Melbourne's way. And he'll go to Powell. He plays on, I thought, over the mark. Uze goes wide. Farmer. Banfield's his man. Farmer still with Jeffrey. He played it well. Uze has been sensational. To the goal square. Crumbs wanted from Melbourne. Great desperation by Neitz. Crumbs come out. Robertson gets a goal.
I'll tell you what, you've got to put that one down to positions, don't you? Because it looked at one stage there, the West Coast Eagles had him completely wrapped up. But the Melbourne forward players there, they just sort of kept pushing the ball around. Almost could have been a free kick here for holding the ball, but he just shoved it out. Simmons almost knocked it back in there to say, hey, listen, get it back underneath you. And eventually, Robertson has got it through.
So it's back to a 2-point game. Entertaining start. Eagles 4 straight. Melbourne 3 goals 4.
Umpire's waiting for something here, Drew. He'll throw the ball.
So it's Turnbull up against Jeff White. Ryan Turnbull does the roving as well as the rucking. Up to half forward. Gee, that kid's going all right. Munro didn't get the ball that time, but he's really having a go. Just his second game. His first was last week in the war that was the local derby.
And if my memory serves me correct, I think he may have been involved in that melee where it cost him $2,000. So he basically played for nothing last week. But some of these young kids out there for the West Coast Eagles, the season's probably come to an end too short for them because they're just starting to get into it.
Ball comes down to Leoncelli. Back to midfield. Simmons. Ball's knocked to the front. Comes to White. Mitchell White comes wide to Embley. Embley takes his time. Delivers a pretty good kick down towards the forward pocket. Chance here for Hunter. Hunter applying the tackle, and eventually Walsh has to rush it behind.
He probably had a better option there, young Andrew Embley, to go short and sort of force the ball into the pockets. It's always a lot harder once the ball goes into that pocket to make a scoring opportunity out of it. But he's obviously changing on the ball with Dean Kemp. They're changing off a half-forward flank. He's now picking up Adam Uze.
Steve Phoebe kicks in. That's dangerous. Uze takes the mark, but boy, is that a contested mark.
Yeah.
Oh, he felt it too. Saying to Steve Phoebe, thanks for the ball with the red cross on it. Kick by Uze, looking for Bruce, but it won't reach him. Mitchell White.
A lot of courage there, backing back into a situation like that.
Now to Fletcher. Turnbull. Eagles playing well. Kick by Ryan Turnbull. Matera gets one out. Oh, the man in front, Donnelly.
He caught it because I was actually looking at the situation with Peter Matera and the work that he was trying to do to get the mark. And Andrew Embley's just sort of come in from the front there. Just eyes on the ball. Donnelly, I should say. Eyes on the ball. And the Eagles could do with this goal just to sort of stretch their lead a little bit before quarter time. Only 3 minutes to go in this quarter. Leading by just 3 points at the moment.
Donnelly's kicked one already. And a perfect drop punt.
This week, in every copy of the Advertiser and Sunday Mail, there's a free collectible Sydney Olympic sports poster. Each contains an illustrated rundown on the finer points, history and judging criteria of all 42 sports. Collect all 21 and before you know it, you and your family will all be Olympic experts.
What do you think, John?
Well, Bill's definitely not one to miss.
Ball back in the middle, and it's now a 9-point lead to the West Coast Eagles. Melbourne, if they lose here today, they'll still get the double chance. They'll finish 4th, but they'll have to come up against the minor premiers, Essendon, next week in the first week of finals.
Peter Matera's come off the field. He's been replaced by young Haynes, another young Victorian who's having his first season with the West Coast Eagles. There's Guy McKenna sitting on the bench with Callum Chambers, and Peter Matera has just come off.
He hasn't had a great start. He hasn't had a kick, just 2 hand passes, Matera. Rigoni, beautiful kick. McDonald Bang, straight to full forward. You've got Robertson, you've got Jeff Farmer, and Farmer marks in front of Banfield.
And one of the problems, too, of having Peter Matera off is he's the leading goal kicker for the West Coast Eagles, so it makes it pretty hard, although they've done pretty well with 5 goals on the board. Speaking of goals, here he is, the Wizard. He's just an exciting player, playing in front, playing in the right position. Drew Banfield really didn't have many other options there. Well, he's a very good mark for a small player, isn't he?
Yeah. Just a sensational season. He's kicked a bag of 9, 1 of 8, and 2 of 7. And one of his bags of 7 was against Melbourne, first time round. And that's perfect.
Meet the office bitch with a real buck. Harassing the staff, giving evil looks, and eating all the biscuits, when all that's needed is love.
I want Vixie to be everybody's friend in the office.
Harry's practice tonight, 6:30.
Then, how girls and guys see a different picture.
We're definitely going to see each other again.
That's great.
Still in there.
You keen? Not really. Are you a romantic sort of boy?
Yes, I am.
Could this be the potential, Mr. Rush? Oh, I don't think so. That's Street Mate tonight.
It continues to be a tight game here. Just a minute and a half to go to quarter time. Turnbull out of the middle, comes to Collins. Rigoni, kicked by Guy Rigoni to centre half forward. McIntosh there with Neitz. McIntosh goes the spoil, comes to Simmons, who's claimed. And umpire Harvey comes in and will ball it up.
Hey, Drew, what about the Eagles bench at the moment? Peter Matera, Guy McKenna, Glenn Jakovic, 3 pretty handy players. Jacko's still there with a split over the eye. They couldn't stop the blood flow.
Yeah, that's not a bad bench. Premierships galore, best and fairest. This is tight. Powell. Hand pass out into space. Neitz tries to go off the ground. Powell follows up. Woden in there as well. And it's a pretty shifting spot here on Subiaco Oval after the rain before the game and virtually all day yesterday, I hear. And the umpire will bounce it at centre half forward for the Demons.
A pretty experienced bench. Glenn Jakovic, 205 games. Peter Matera, 217. And of course, Guy McKenna, 267. So it's a lot of experience sitting down there.
Well, neither ruckman could get to it. Eventually, Schwartz gets the hand pass out. Robertson on the turn with good distance. Farmer caught behind Banfield this time. And Drew Banfield, another country boy from WA.
He's a Querriting lad, and surprisingly, his name hasn't been thrown up that much about the Eagles' captaincy. We've heard a lot about Cousins and Jakovic, but he's another player, I reckon, whose name could be thrown into that category.
Well, there's the ball out of bounds. There's the siren for quarter time. Well done, the Eagles. They came in, unless you were absolutely one-eyed for the Eagles, not many gave them a hope, but they lead by 3 points at quarter time, 5-1 to 4-4. They're missing goal kickers of the calibre of Cummings, Gehrig, Phil Matera, and yet somehow they managed 5 goals in the first term, 2 of them to Andrew Donnelly, and they outplayed Melbourne for the bulk of that first term. Guy McKenna started on the ground, lasted 16 minutes, then went to the bench. I think we'll see him again later in the day. This will be a better game than we might have hoped for.
This news update brought to you by Colonial's personal insurance portfolio.
Good afternoon. Coming up at 6 on 7 News, red faces for our military chiefs over reports that Aussie peacekeepers in Papua New Guinea made an obscene video involving cross-dressing and offensive sex acts. The details are more in that video at 6. Also tonight, who's the very high-profile Crow who quit the Adelaide Football Club on Showdown Day after 10 years? And disappointment as SoCal gets it wrong again with the wrong Olympic tickets being delivered to several families. We'll see you at 6.
The new Toyota RAV4 with more room and power, it's unbeatable.
Then, with my hard-earned 2 bob, fish and chips on the way back from footy. There was nowhere to dine and no fancy boxes to take away. Prawns were a real luxury. And chicken burgers, no such thing.
What about calamari?
We'd eat the whole and leave the rest. These days it's all handed to you on a platter. But they don't make them like they used to. They make them better at Barnacle Bills.
Dine in or take away. They make 'em better at Barnacle Bills.
to be the nurse. Me. Who wants to be the mummy? Somebody.
Plurivet know women do more, so we're giving you more.
Come on, somebody.
Pick me, pick me. With the goodness of soy, plus calcium and iron, all in a multivitamin. New Women Plus Soy from Plurivet. Westpac's helping us teach our children Olympic ideals, like teamwork and achievement. Westpac's Olympic Youth Program is giving us the tools we need to teach our children ideals that will help them throughout their lives.
To present the award, Susie O'Neill.
Think Olympic ideals will help our kids achieve in life?
I might never be an Olympic athlete, but at least I can think like one.
When professional photographer Naja Bernhardt gets that 1 in a million shot, she needs perfect colour every time. So for perfect picture quality, better than photographs, who does Naja depend on?
Why are so many people expecting the return of Christ early in this millennium? What ancient predictions do they see fulfilled by the latest news? And what do they say about our future? The Search video series dismisses the hype and presents credible evidence. Call the number on your screen now for your free home viewing of the Search documentary. Absolutely free and no obligation. Call now.
Excellent first term by the West Coast Eagles and straight kicking. 5-1-31 to Melbourne's 4-4-28. The only multiple goal kicker, Andrew Donnelly, who's kicked 2.
The Coca-Cola AFL Premiership Season 2000, brought to you by Victoria Bitter. Mitsubishi Magna V6, one drive and you're hooked. McDonald's, enjoy the fun and games. And Telstra, making life easier.
Game day for viewers in the East coming up at half-time with John Longmire, Todd Viney and Tony Shaw, and all the scores from the other games. Well, Perth had its war last week, Adelaide has theirs this week, and there's also Carlton-Richmond at the MCG. And at quarter time, long conversation going on between the retiring veteran Bluey McKenna and Ken Judge, the coach. Have we got enough beers in for the barbecue tonight? Judgy, what time will you get there? Anyway, I'm sure we'll see him back. Now here's Rob Wiley with Barra.
Thanks, Troy. Yes, Rob. Bluey McKenna, done enough early. Will you see him again?
Oh yeah, he'll come back. He'll just have a, sort of a few rests, and when he's right to come on, he'll come on, because he certainly goes the right still, doesn't he?
Pretty good start from the boys. You're pretty happy?
Oh yeah, it was a good effort. We would like a few more goals on the board, and they got a few easy ones. So we've just got to make sure we keep up the pressure and hopefully do the right thing by Bluey.
They'll come back at you now, the Demons, won't they?
Oh, they're a very good side, and as I said, we've just got to be focused and concentrating all day.
Good on you, Rob. Good luck. Thanks for joining us. Glenn Jakovich back out there, Drew.
Stitches or staples? Did he get treatment?
It's an interesting setup with the West Coast Eagles at the moment for their forward line. They've got 2 players sitting back in the goal square, and then they've got 3 players across about the 40-metre line, and young Hunter's playing at centre-half forward on his own.
Start of the second quarter here with the umpires. They'll throw it up all day in that centre circle rather than bounce on the newly laid turf. Good tackle by Kemp, who had an outstanding first quarter, 5 kicks and 1 hand pass. But probably the star was Adam Uze, who had 9 possessions.
Yeah, opposed to Chad Morrison, who had 5 possessions, but probably Uzo was a little bit more damaging. Of course, he finished it off with 1 goal for the quarter. Another player's played well for Melbourne is Jeff White. He's completely dominating the hit-outs.
Well, White wins that one, but Cousins sharks it. Nicholson, the hand pass to Collins. Peter Matera, the good tackle. White, good running by Uze again. The hand pass away from Powell, and Powell worked off it by Green. Morrison gets the hand pass in. Turnbull, good hands. Kemp, excellent. Simmons found a bit of space and goes along to a vacant goal square. If he gets the bounce, this could be handy. Didn't miss by much.
It was a smart move there, really, by Paul Simmons, because all the Eagles players and the Melbourne players had let out and basically just left an open goal square there. And as you said, Drew, had the ball bounced the right way, there was no one going to get back in time to stop it. And all the players, you can just see it there on the screen, just all huddling up in the centre of the ground. What they'll do is they'll break wide. It's worked pretty well for Melbourne. We'll go long to Woden.
This is Powell, ex-Bulldog. Wobbles one up towards centre wing. Jeff White with the punch. Mitchell White. We've got a couple of Whites. We've got a couple of Greens. We've got a couple of Simmons. It's a bit confusing here today. Turnbull down to the forward pocket. And the ball out from the forward pocket.
The Eagles bench, Drew, is now Chambers. And the Guy McKenna's there. Darren Glass and Adam Hunter. Ben Jakovic did have some staples in his forehead and is now back out there with Swartz. Obviously, Peter Matera back at full forward.
Embley with a terrific hit out. But Phoebe chops it off. Comes to Ward, who gave it too much. Out on the full.
He's not happy either. Very disappointed with that kick out. This will give the opportunity for Andrew Donnelly to get his third goal on the board. He's having a look around. He's a little bit unsure about this kick.
He's a Subi boy. He should know this pocket. Oh, look at this. What a kick. And I think it's got there. Magnificent goal.
All right, so that is a good kick from Andrew Donnelly. You picked it right, Drew. You picked it right. He's a Subi boy, all right. He wasn't quite sure, though. He wasn't quite sure whether he wanted to have a go at that. And he didn't really get his boot into it. It's only just got across the line. The Melbourne boys coming in very close to the line. Just take a look at this. It must have been very close. There you can see Uze. But I think his hand was definitely behind the ball. So the Eagles again getting off to a very good start.
Well, phenomenal goal by Andrew Donnelly from the boundary line. He's kicked his third, and the Eagles lead by 10 points. Kemp out of the middle again. Well, Melbourne are going to have to do something about Dean Kemp because he is flogging them out of there. And here's a free kick to be taken by Embley. Matera on the lead. Kicked very wide. Not great for the forwards. Cousins keeps it in. And the ball run over. Let's have a look at Andrew Donnelly's shot for goal. And the Melbourne players claiming they touched it.
Yeah, the ball was over the line. I think that's what'll happen. The umpire's in the right position there to make the decision.
That's a goal for mine. Ward gains about 20 or 30 metres. And the ball out of play. 6-2 to 4-4. Eagles in front.
Ken Judge will be very happy with young Rowan Jones at the moment because Shane Woden, who he said had 35 possessions last week, has only managed to pick up 3. Now he's playing out on the wing, so perhaps Danaher could use him on the board a little bit more. See if he can sort of get into the play.
It's solid in there. Jeff White with a tackle.
The Melbourne bench guys, as they started, Gergic is still there, Johnson, Green and Simons. They haven't had a change at all.
So we've seen quite a few changes with the Eagles bench and no movement at all from the D's. Stephen Phoebe, the hand pass to Ragoni. Over centre wing with his kick. Jakovic in front, takes the mark. What an imposing figure he is. Kemp is running amok, Dean Kemp. Into Ben Cousins, celebrating his 100th here today. Kicked by Cousins. Embley charges at it. Matera just lays a little hand on it. Oh, I thought the Demons had blocked it up, but it did spill out. Bruce missed with his kick. Taken by Powell to Phoebe. Phoebe up to Neitz, who can't complete the mark. Cousins is first back there for it, but the ball will win. Ben Cousins, 5 possessions so far, having a bit of a puff at the moment.
Because he spent 5 weeks out with his injured ankle earlier on in the season. 100 games up, well done.
Here's Woden, can be so damaging. And good distance with a left footer. Farmer and Banfield having a wrestle. It comes to Bruce, who kicks a goal.
Which would you trust to operate, machine or man?
Is that like robots? Like R2-D2 is going to be doing the surgery or something?
You said Andrew's going to be fine.
Scaffold.
Didn't you?
David E. Kelly's new Chicago Hope, Monday. Every killer leaves a clue. But he must solve the perfect crime.
This is a real twister going.
Before they bury him.
I don't know how it is you sleep at night.
Brand new Da Vinci's Inquest, Monday on 7.
Ball back in the middle. Jeff White with a big leap. It comes to Rigoni. And that's Bruce again, taking a good mark on Simmons. Bruce's kick. Robertson with a climb. A huge leap, but couldn't mark. Morrison for the Eagles. And pass behind the man he was looking for, Fletcher. Eventually they clear up towards centre wing, or just short of that position. It comes to the front, and the ball, Jones keeps it in.
Good shepherding there.
Walsh. Got some players free down the corridor here, the Demons. Schwartz gets around Jakovic. Doesn't mind it on the left boot. Doesn't kick the brilliant drop pump though. Farmer, Banfield got a hand to it. Well done, Drew Banfield. Schwartz again, off the ground. Banfield once more. Played some. To Jakovic. Well done, Drew Banfield. Well, he's got a tough man to beat in Farmer, but he did it brilliantly then. Here's Bruce again. Can he be stopped? It's McDonald inside the 50. Here's Farmer. Taken down by Morrison. McDonald. With McIntosh back to Banfield. Well, they're moving the ball around pretty well, and Rowan Jones takes the mark at half-back. Good run by Simmons. Mitchell White. Great footy being displayed here by the Eagles. Chance comes out wide to Chambers. Pushing the back, yes. Donnelly the free kick. He'll be kicking for his fourth.
You're quite right, Drew. We haven't seen the Eagles playing and delivering the ball as well as what we have today. They've been very good at moving the ball on very quickly. Paul Simmons coming off, being replaced by young Haynes. Perhaps Bruce is just starting to get the better of him. And just the ability to bring the ball back through the centre corridor and then find the leading forwards. As we said, probably Donnelly has had a good return today already. 3 goals. And he's only had 4 possessions. 4 possessions, so he's getting pretty good return.
49 metres, a lot of height. Won't quite get there. And the mark taken by Ward. Well, just as well Melbourne have had him. He has played a game and a half. That's 8 possessions. He's taken 3 marks. Beebe. And the mark to Nicholson. Another West Australian back at home, playing for the visitors. Kick by Nicholson, punch by Jakovic. It comes to the front, overrun here by Fletcher. Kemp. Some great sterling performances being put on here. Kemp for the Eagles has been absolutely sensational.
10 possessions already.
Uze's had 10, and I've been singing the praises of Ward on the back line for the D's. Throw in at half forward. The ball's knocked forward by Haynes, who just came on the ground. Comes to White. Spent some time over here in Perth playing for the Dockers. And Neat's on his knees before he took the mark. Powell. Open forward line now for Melbourne. Punch by Jakovic to Morrison. Bursting through is Green for the Eagles. Jakovic. Oh, well worked. Uze's a tough one though. Chambers with him. Uze again. And it didn't carry. No mark to Robertson. Comes to Rigoni. He's only 40 out. Guy Rigoni. And nails a goal.
Another clear and simple offer from B. Buy the Nokia 3210 for just $1 when you join B's 24-month plan for $15 a month. So call B now.
We make buying a mobile clear and simple. B.
Foxtel's World of Entertainment can be yours for less than $12 a week. Call 131 999 and ask what type of connection and package is right for you.
Well, Melbourne have finally made their first change. Leoncelli off the ground with just 2 possessions, replaced by Travis Johnston. That was a clever kick out of the middle by Uze, outside of his foot. Here's Johnston. Slides the ball away to Gergic. Gergic to full forward. And the punch to the back by Williams, and the ball out of play.
Yeah, a couple of changes too.
Actually, Gergic already just beat him on.
Yeah, David Schwartz taken from the ground. Glenn Jakovic getting the better of him.
It's interesting to see Jeff White and Ryan Turnbull playing off the ruck taps. They're leaving all the boundary throw-ins to either Andrew Embley or, in the Dockers, in the Eagles case.
Well, to Johnston from the boundary line. The goal umpire hasn't moved. I think he's kicked it.
That is a great goal. Yeah, he's just come onto the ground. And there's one thing you want to do. As soon as you get on the ground, you'll want to get yourself a possession. But I tell you what, coming onto the ground and getting a possession like that is just fantastic. Have a look at this. He's pressed right in on the boundary. There wouldn't have been any light whatsoever. And he has just threaded it straight through the middle. He'll be very, very happy with that. Have a look at this again. You can see why Woden has been pretty well held by Jones. And he is just right up on the boundary line.
Unbelievable goal by Johnston, just on the ground off the interchange bench, and now Melbourne lead by 8 points. So for all the great efforts by the Eagles, they find themselves behind. Jakovic, the kick from half-back up towards half-forward. Off the ground goes Collins. Gergic, good hands. And good vision. Uze's been a star for them. Kemp got a touch to it but couldn't stop it. Getting to Uze, who off the left goes bang and kicks another one.
Well, this is worrying times now for the West Coast Eagles. You sort of count this basically as a run-on when you get 2 goals in a row. And that's what they've been able to do. We just saw there Demaher and Ryan Rule in the coach's box. Gergic has just come onto the ground. Already picked up 2 or 3 possessions early. And this man, along with Dean Kemp, have been by far the best players on the ground. And as I said, if you give this player too much room, he is going to tear you apart. And that's what he's doing at the moment. There's way too much room.
Well, Melbourne's use of the interchange bench has been sensational. Gergic, a couple of quick possessions. Johnston, a couple of quick possessions, including a goal. And they've both only been out there a couple of minutes. And in that time, Melbourne have kicked a couple of goals and have taken a bit of a break. Rigoni to White, floats one to Collins. Collins out wide. Uze got it again. What a game Adam Uze is playing. That's 2 marks and 13 disposals now. Gergic, another touch. A high ball out towards the pocket. Robertson had a chance to mark. He's got a chance still. Knocks the ball in for Neitz.